What's up, Met fans? What's up, baseball fans? Welcome back to Talkin Mets at Rob. MLB Free Agent Frenzy on a Tuesday afternoon. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys have been patiently waiting because nothing has really happened today except for a little bit of rumors that we will get into in a little bit. But for my Met fans and for my Yankee fans that are in the stream right now, there has been a little bit of information that is going to affect both our teams when the season starts. And that is with the whole rule with the vaccination status of players, because in New York, unfortunately, we have a stupid mandate that says you can't work in New York unless you're vaccinated. And there are a few Yankees and a few Mets that are not vaccinated. Some of the names, most of the names we don't know, but based on what we heard of from players last year who said they were against the vaccine on both teams, it's clear that a few are not still. And that's going to cause a real problem if this mandate is not lifted by the time the Yankees play on April 7th against the Red Sox. The Mets have a little bit more time since they don't play at home until the 15th of April. But I wonder what's going to happen with that mandate. Again, I'm for the vaccine, but I don't understand why you force people to get the vaccine to work. I think that's stupid, but we're not really worried about political aspects of this situation, but it will affect our teams based on the laws in New York at the moment. So I just wanted to get that out there before we actually talk about why we're all here, and that's the free agent frenzy that we hope we're going to get tonight, because it has been very, very quiet all day today, except for a few rumors. And the next rumor that I want to talk about, and information that involves somewhat of the New York Yankees, and that is Freddie Freeman. The sweepstakes for Freddie Freeman just got bigger. Not too long ago, we found out that the San Diego Padres are now in the sweepstakes, in the running to get Freddie Freeman. And now this is actually perfect for Freddie Freeman, because that's 6 years, 170, 180 he was looking for from the Braves is probably going to be close to 200 million because of all the people that are trying to get Freeman. And as we all know, these players go for the highest bidder. And I wouldn't be surprised if it gets real close or at 200, 100 million for Freddie Freeman with all the teams that are involved. I mean, almost 75% of the teams in the AL East are after him. The Yankees, the Rays, the Red Sox, and even the Blue Jays are in on him. So it's basically the whole entire AL East, the Padres as well. And it seems like, to me, that the Yankees aren't going that route. They seem focused on Rizzo, and that's where the Yankees lie. And I don't think the Yankees are going to outspend probably the Red Sox or the Blue Jays if they really want to get Freeman. But let's hope it comes to a head today so we get some news. I saw in the poll that most of the people think the Blue Jays are going to win this sweepstakes for Freddie Freeman, and I tend to agree with that. It's a little crazy that the Padres might be involved, since they're looking to trade Hosmer. So they're looking to spend money and shed a little bit of payroll to add money, I'm assuming, to that contract that they're going to offer to Freddie Freeman. So with that, welcome to the channel, guys. Don't forget to please hit on that like button if you haven't already. And if you're new to the channel, say what's up in the chat, guys. Do not be shy. This is a free forum for all baseball fans. Voice your opinions, voice your concerns, voice your frustrations with your teams. That's why we're here, to have fun, to talk baseball, and to have some news and rumors that we will continue to update you on throughout the entire day. The time I'm live for the next couple of hours. So let's enjoy the time, guys. Let's talk baseball and hope that we get some movement on the trade or free agent rumors, and anything we can get that we can actually either be mad about or be happy about with our teams. Because at the end of the day, guys, some teams are going to be happy, some teams are going to be pissed off. And as of right now, currently in New York, where I'm at, and since this is a Mets channel, it seems like the Mets fans are a lot more happier than the Yankee fans at the moment. So that is a little bit of a New York take for you guys that are not currently Mets and Yankee fans. But you guys know what's going to be happening right now, guys. Gonna go through the chat to say what up to everybody in the chat. Once again, guys, give me time so I can get through everybody's name and give everybody a shout out. We got about 85 viewers at the moment, so just give me a moment to get through everybody. Michael, Christian, Aiden, Nick, Sean, member of Talkin, Metzer, Rob, Mike, Steven, Christian, La Potencia. Let's see, who else we got? We got Grant. We got Lindor. We got Al. We got Victor. We got Stoney. We got Mets Nation. We have, continuing to go down, Timothy, RLP, Raul, Addicted, Nelson, Sam, Patrick, and Emanin. How are you guys doing, guys? All right, guys. So what I'm going to do now is go through the list in the chat and just see what everybody's talking about right now so we can start talking some baseball. And I saw somebody says, breaking news, there is no news. I completely agree. Actually, I mean, it's kind of odd. Like, I mean, it's only a few days until we have the first official spring training game. And if you are a Mets fan, if you haven't heard the news about that, about the orange and blue scrimmage that they're having on Friday, and for all you Mets fans in Port St. Lucie at Clover Park, the admission is free, the parking is free, and even the drinks are free. Yes, the beer and the soda. So Cohen is just making everybody love him even more if you're a Met fan. He is giving everything for free. I think you only have to buy food and probably specialty drinks. Regular beer, probably draft, and soda is free, and you probably just have to pay for food. But that's a damn bargain considering how much prices are all over the country when it comes to tickets and concessions. So if you are in Florida and you're going to head down there, go there on Friday. It's going to be a packed house on the berm, all around the seating. They said they're going to have outside where you can walk around. You can also look at the outfield, stand in the outfield as well. I heard they were going to do. So if you're in the area, go down there. If you're a Met fan, it's going to be a great time. You're probably going to get to meet the players. You know, Cohen is making this as fan-friendly as possible. And it's basically a fan fest with the game. So if you're a Met fan, hopefully you enjoy that. So let's see. Michael, what's up? Michael, how you doing? Christian, yes, Buck is awesome. I heard him today. He goes, he would take that Nino anywhere they got to stick him. So, you know, that's the Buck Showalter that we all know and knew that he was going to be. And that's why we like Buck Showalter. He's an old school guy who uses the analytics, but he also uses his heart, guys. And that's what I love about him. And you know what? Even Yankee fans are rooting for Buck Showalter. Because let's be honest, guys, he kind of got a raw deal when George Steinbrenner fired him to hire Joe Torre. So, Aiden, what do you think about the trade with Gary Sanchez? That was a couple of days ago. It didn't excite me at all, honestly. You know, Yankee fans were making fun of the Met fans because of the players that they got there. Most of the players were over 32 years old, 33 years old that they got. And now you got a third baseman who's 36 years old and who is injury prone as well. So, but again, when it comes to that, I think Yankee fans are more mad about losing Urshela. They don't really care about Sanchez, even though, you know, Donaldson's going to give you more power. You know, if he's healthy, he's going to give you a solid third base as well. IKF Falefa, I think is going to be a solid shortstop for you guys. He's not a great hitter. He's decent on base percentage. I think he's going to be good for you guys. He has the speed. And, you know, you also got that catcher. I can't repeat his name, Rob Benford or whatever his name is. He is a beast. He is a huge, huge guy behind the plate. So, you know, a lot of balls are not going to get past him because he's a big guy. I wouldn't say it's a solid trade. I think it was kind of a necessary trade for the Yankees to get rid of Sanchez, and that was probably the only way they could. And unless the Yankees make another move, like I said, I don't think signing Rizzo is going to make this Yankee team top of the East in the AL East. I don't think that. I think they need to get either Story, Correa, or either Freeman. I don't think Rizzo is going to, you know, move that dial as much as the Yankees need it. So, in my opinion, guys, if the Yankees don't do something else and just get Rizzo, they're going to have a hard time. You know, they'll probably win close to 90 games, probably, because that's their MO. They win 90 games. They find a way to win 90 games every year. It looks like so. They're probably right now at this current moment with this roster, a wild card team, just making it. And you know what? All you gotta do is make it, and you never know what can happen. So unless the Yankees do something else that's other than Rizzo, I think the Yankees are gonna have a real problem in this AL East, especially if one of the teams in the AL East get Freddie Freeman. And you know what? The Yankees are gonna have a hard time trying to get Freeman to the Yankees because I think the Red Sox are gonna be able to pay more. I don't know if the Rays are gonna pay more, but who knows? And I think the Blue Jays are going for it, so they'll probably be the ones that probably give the biggest check to Freeman. All right, Nick. Mets and Yankees were not playing at home. Yes, we just talked about that with the COVID. Good afternoon, Sean. Padres are now on. Yes. Christian, let's go Mets. Steven, no news on the Mets except the whole COVID situation in New York, and that involves the Yankees as well, obviously. That's what we know at the moment. Sean says he's going to LA. You know, I'm wondering because it's weird because the Dodgers even came out with the report. I think it was either John Heyman or John Morosi, one of those guys earlier today saying the Dodgers are optimistic they are going to land Freeman, but it's not their biggest concern. And I agree with them. I think they can do more with certain things with pitching. You know, they got a pretty decent pitching staff, but they're not a great pitching staff. You know, they gotta get that bullpen right now. They technically really don't have a closer. You know, Kenley Jansen is still a free agent, so I still got to think that most likely the Dodgers are probably the favorite somewhat, but I think the Blue Jays are going to sneak in there and take them away. All right. Let's see what else we got in the chat, guys. Let's see. Lindora, let's see what you got. Someone posted a rumor saying Mets are going hard after Schwarber. Yes, I did see that report. Apparently, I checked the guy out on Twitter. It was like something ESPN. He's a senior writer, but he's not a big, like he's like a part-time writer. And apparently he saw like there was a helicopter and with Schwarber, it was a whole bunch of craziness that he said in the tweet, something about the Mets and Cohen are going after Schwarber hard, and then Cohen retweeted. Well, that's interesting because I've been in Florida the whole week, so who knows if that's true or not. Like I said, I mean, it's not going to be a bad thing if the Mets sign Scherzer, but he's going to be a full-time DH. That's what he's going to be, and I don't know if the Mets technically need that. Again, you're not going to hate that production. You know, he's a high on-base percentage guy, obviously a big power guy. So, you know, I'm not going to be against it, but I think the Mets, look, if the Mets get 2 more bullpen arms, it's a really, really good solid offseason, and I'll be very happy with it. You know, we'll have a little bit of flexibility when it comes to the trade deadline and give us an opportunity if we need a pitcher in the bullpen or maybe in the starting role or maybe another bat in the trade deadline, the Mets could do that. La Potencia, we don't technically know the players. Like they can't announce the players because it's, you know, it's a HIPAA rules, you know, federal law. You can't just, you know, put somebody's medical status out there. You can't do that. So, but you know, if I remember correctly, when everybody was getting a shot, Nimmo was very vocal about getting it, and I believe Aaron Judge is not vaccinated, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty damn sure that Nimmo is not vaccinated. Remember, they said 5 Mets, but that was from last year's statistics. So it was people on last year's team. I don't believe Stroman is vaccinated, and Conforto said he wasn't vaccinated. So those 2 are obviously not on the team. So it's down to like 3. And if I can guess, if I can see who is really like on edge with the vaccine, it was JD Davis, Nimmo, and maybe one more. I can't really remember who the other guy is, but again, it is what it is. Yeah, Christian, they are illegal, but at the same time, when the federal government gives states the right to make certain rules and laws, you know, it comes down to labor laws as well. So, I mean, I had to get vaccinated for my job. I couldn't work. You know, it's up to the company. You know, they don't have to. They're not gonna. You know, they're not gonna risk having a lawsuit. That's the problem. And believe me, in 10 years, you're going to see people starting, you're going to see commercials about, were you affected by COVID-19 at your work? Here, sue. You're going to hear that in a couple of years. So these companies are taking precautions for not getting sued down the road. That's the problem with this mandate. It's a stupid mandate because, Joe Schmo that lives in Cincinnati can come to New York and walk into an office, even if it's a job that requires you vaccination, because he doesn't technically work in New York. He can walk into the office without a mask, not vaccinated, and do some work. The same thing with Kyrie Irving. He was at the Nets game the other day, maskless, not vaccinated, because he bought tickets and he was a fan. It was okay, but you can't play in a building if you're not vaccinated. But an unvaccinated player can come to New York and play. It makes no sense. But I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, it's not like I can change anything. You know what I'm saying? So we're getting some information regarding the union and Major League Baseball about the New York mandate. So here we go. Marley Rivera. The union and the clubs have known for around 48 hours and have been working with New York City Mayor's office regarding any requirement for MLB players to be vaccinated in order to be able to play in New York City ballparks. Right now, union and clubs are working on getting clarification on the previous differentiation between outdoor and indoor play. Remember, it's different. It might be a little difficult. They might have to be some rules, considering if you're indoors, you might have to be wearing a mask if you're unvaccinated. Who knows? But remember, it's an outdoor stadium. It's not an indoor arena. So they might be able to play outside, but when they're inside, enclosed, they probably have to wear a mask. Union and club sources say that they're confident that this will be resolved by opening day. So, okay. So again, I feel like it's going to get resolved because it is an outdoor stadium. There's going to be they have to follow certain rules while they're in the clubhouse and indoors inside the stadium while they're not outside. That's probably what's going to happen. Alrighty. Yes, La Potencia. That means Hosmer is probably gone if the Padres get Freeman. Yes. RLP. Braves locking up Olsen was a steal. Yeah, I know. I mean, it was obvious. You can't give all those prospects and not extend Olsen. That would have been stupid if the Braves didn't do that. Look, the kid's a really great player. Like, there's no doubt about it. I mean, that 8-year deal, he's only going to be 35 years old when the contract ends. So, I mean, you can probably get 7 great years from Olsen, maybe 6, maybe even more. You never know. And, he's a great defender. And I read a stat yesterday, actually this morning, that in his career he's hit 22 home runs off for left-handed pitching. That's huge for a left-handed batter. Huge for a left-handed batter against a lefty. 22 home runs in his career off of left-handed pitching. So he can hit left-handers. He's going to be great defensively. He's from Georgia, so that's a whole thing too. I mean, it's a great move, but like I said, it's a great move for the Braves. He's clearly at this point in his career compared to Freeman, better than Freeman. So, like I said, now we have another first baseman and another Mets killer that's probably going to be on the Braves now. It's going to kill us. But you know what? It's going to be fun against the Braves now because the Braves got better. There's no doubt about that. They got better. They're a voice to be reckoned with. They're the champions. You have to give them respect because they are the champions. And I will give them respect. I'm not going to be here with Mets blinders on and saying, oh, come on, look at that Mets rotation. Yeah, great. And, I can say the same thing about the Mets rotation that I say with the Braves rotation. If they're not healthy, the Braves could be in trouble. The same thing with the Mets. So I think at the moment, the Braves do have a better lineup, no doubt about that. They got more power. Acuna is going to be ready now. We've seen him taking batting practice. That was already confirmed. There was no guarantee that he was going to be ready for the season. He looked like he's going to be ready for the season, which sucks as a Met fan. But again, it's going to be a battle for first and second place. But with that extra team in the playoffs, that's going to help some teams like the Braves and the Mets if they happen not to win the division. So let's hope that it's going to be very fun And if I'm not mistaken, I think we play Atlanta the second series of the year. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Let's see. What are we there? No, we played the Phillies. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was looking at the other two series. All right. Yeah, we don't play the. All right, cool. All right, so we don't play the Braves for a little while, but that's okay. But the Braves are a dangerous damn team, and you know what? I'm a little annoyed because I'm so sick of the Braves. They killed us in the 90s. They just win division after division after division. Now they got their championship since 95. So it's like, damn. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking at something really quick. Once again, guys, I've got 183 people in the stream right now. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, guys, we got to hit on that like button, guys. More likes. The stream goes at the top of the list. More baseball fans are going to tune in to have fun and talk baseball and talk about their teams that they want their team to get. That's the whole idea around this stream, guys. It's a free form. Speak at will. Just be nice to everybody. And, you know, if you want to curse at your own team, you're welcome to. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, I heard that on the radio today regarding the Yankees should go after Votto and Castillo. Again, the problem with that is if the Yankees weren't willing to give Volpe or Dominguez, if they're not willing to give either of those guys, the Yankees are not making a deal. Nobody's going to take a deal without one of those guys in the package. And if the Yankees are not going to put one of those guys in the package, it's pointless to talk about because I think Votto's still got something left. You know, he had a lot of home runs last year. I don't think he's a big home run guy, but in Yankee Stadium, he probably will be. You know, we all know he takes a lot of walks. He's an on-base percentage guy. And obviously, Castillo can be an ace of a stats. And let's be honest, guys, the Yankees need a number two behind Cole. I don't know if you can trust Severino as of yet because he hasn't really shown he can be healthy over the last couple of years. He pitched in the later part of the season last year. But again, you know, can he get through a full season healthy? And can he still be that dominant self that we seen a couple of years ago before he got hurt? But he also wasn't a very clutch guy either. He wasn't in the big moments. He actually choked. And that's something that the Yankees probably have to look at too. But, you know, we know Severino got the stuff. So I could see the Yankees trying to do that. But, I mean, if you've seen the deals that's been going on, I mean, the prospects that are going for these players, once again, if the Yankees do not want to give up Volpe or Dominguez, the other team's going to hang up the phone and get a better deal elsewhere, especially with all the teams that are trying to get more pitching. You know, there's teams like the Blue Jays who have a great farm system. You got teams like the Padres who have a very good farm system. The Dodgers still find a way every time, even when they get rid of players and prospects. They always have prospects to trade. So those teams always have more, especially if you look at the Yankees farm system. Besides Dominguez and Volpe, you know, I'm not an expert in the Yankees farm system, but they're in the middle of the pack as well, minus those guys. And those guys seem like Cashman is not getting rid of them. So there's your problem with the Yankees right there. That's why more people are clamoring for the Yankees to freaking spend money, because if they spend money, you don't have to get rid of prospects. But it's pretty obvious at this point, guys, that the Yankees and Hal Sternbrenner told Cashman he cannot go over the luxury tax. That's just my opinion, but it seems pretty obvious because there's enough players out there that is a necessity for the Yankees for them to get, and they have not done it. So that's the only thing I can say about that. And it's unfortunate because, you know, Yankee fans expect the Yankees organization to always get the player they want, no questions asked. They're not used to this whole penny pinching motto or way of life when it comes to getting players to get on this team. And it's different. And it's a wake-up call because the Yankees finally feel like Met fans do every year. And that's how it is at the moment. Oh, yeah. Well, exactly. That's the same thing I said when I was talking about Chris Bryant to the Phillies, that the Mets will probably get involved just to raise the price for the Phillies for Chris Bryant. And I think the Padres are doing the same thing. But the difference with that, Raul, is that when it comes to the Padres, they are looking to move the Hosmer contract. And even if the contract for Freeman is about a little more in total, at least they know they're going to get a lot more production and basically the same amount of defense that Hosmer gives, but more production from Freeman than Hosmer gives offensively. So the Padres can be looking at that as well. You know, they're not technically saving money, but they're getting a better player for the next couple of years. And Hosmer is an okay player for the money he's getting. So that's what I think the Padres are doing. I think they're doing both. Like, great, if we don't get Freeman, at least we can increase the price to the Dodgers. But I think the Dodgers are in a great spot. Unless the Blue Jays are going to spend outrageous amount of money on Freeman, I think the Dodgers are probably going to still have the best offer. So, and I still think, you know, the roots where Freeman is, he was born in California, you know, has a little bit of an edge, and the Dodgers are probably going to offer the most money. Daniel, 100%. When it comes to Chafin, I said this earlier, and I was talking to a couple of guys that are huge supporters of the channel. We talk on Twitter all the time and on Facebook. We were talking about this. I said that. I said if Chafin gets signed by the Mets, and that's what they're finished doing what they have to do. Now, granted, I think they need 2 more arms, but even if they get Chafin, you know, they got Ottavino, and we have mostly a decent bullpen already put together. We still got Sean Reed-Foley. We still got Drew Smith that people aren't really talking about, who were actually good last year until they got hurt. You know, not including Diaz and May and Lugo and Castro, all those guys. So if they get Chafin, that solidifies their left-hander they need in that bullpen. I think that bullpen is pretty darn good. It's not great, but it's good. I would be very happy. Not extremely excited, but I'll be very happy with the offseason the Mets have. And what it also does, you know, just because we don't get everybody we want in the offseason doesn't mean that if the Mets need something by the trade deadline, I feel confident the Mets are going to do that. Years past with the Wilpons, I never felt confident. We needed people so many times when we were close to getting the division or, you know, in the hunt, and they never did anything. Now I feel 100% confident that if Epler was like, we need this guy, Cohen's going to sign off on it. I'm not worried about that anymore. But if we get Chafin, the bullpen's going to look a lot more solid. Again, the bullpens every year by year, is very volatile. So no matter what the names are in the bullpen, you can have no names and you can have great years from your bullpen arms. It's a crapshoot. You just pray that this is the year your bullpen's going to be good. You know, I think the lineup is pretty solid. I would like more power in the lineup, but I'm not going to, you know, cry a river for what the Mets did with this lineup, because it is better. You got a couple of on base percentage guys. You got guys that put bat on ball. Your leadoff hitter is a 300 hitter. Then you got Nimmo, who's a big on base percentage guy who takes pitches, will give Marte the opportunity to steal bases. And then you got Lindor, Alonso, Escobar, and McNeil. It seems like now McNeil might be not going anywhere. Again, I always felt like the Mets had a problem with McNeil, but if Lindor even talked about it with McNeil in his press conference, that we talked, we're good. Listen, if they're good and they can work up the middle and McNeil could turn his whole offensive mindset around, now you got a guy that can be really darn good. Once again, I still believe that they're probably trying to move McNeil, but if they don't and McNeil can bounce back, it's only going to help this lineup a lot more. I don't think it's 4 years. If it's 4 years, then the Dodgers have no shot. Freddie Freeman is going to get at least 6 years. And the reason why he's going to get 6 years is because that's what he was asking for from the Braves. That's why the Braves went elsewhere. And with all these teams involved, he's going to get 6 years. It's just a matter of how much money he's going to get. And if he was asking for 6 for 170 from the Braves, he's going to get close to 200, if not exactly 200 million. And with all the people fighting for him, the team's fighting for him, it's pretty obvious that he's probably going to get between 170 and 200 on a 6-year deal. Apache, LFGM, 100%. Sam, how you doing, buddy? Patrick, Jays for World Series, baby. Hey, listen. The Jays are going for it, right? The Jays for many, many years were one of the teams that used to get beat up on, where teams used to walk in and used to put that W on the schedule before they even played the game. Now it's a whole different story. With all their young guns that are finally up, that they were waiting for so many years, are up now, performing to what they were expecting, making all the trades, making all the signings. Their rotation is extremely solid with Berrios, Ryu, and Gausman, and Kikuchi, and Manoa, all those guys. And I still think you need a little bit of bullpen help, because you don't want your starting rotation to go 5, 6, 7 innings, leaving which leads, and your bullpen blows it. The Blue Jays are going to they're going to score a lot of runs. They did lose Simeon, which is a big blow offensively, but their offense, I think they score 4.7 per game, if I'm not mistaken, or 4.4, around that. It was somewhere in the 4. Even if they lose a 0.3 from that, they can still easily score 4 runs a game, and their starting rotation is going to keep them in games, obviously. And if they score 4 runs per game, they'll probably win a lot of games. And I'm projecting right now at the moment, with their current roster right now, I could see them easily win 94 games, easily, with that pitching staff. And that's a minimum. So I think the Jays are really going for it. If they get Freeman, jack that number up another 2 or 3 games. Imani, you telling them, right? Hit on that like button, guys. We got 225 people in the stream, guys. You guys are great. I love you guys. We're having fun. We're talking baseball. Continue to hit that like button, guys. Let's get more baseball fans in here, because we are all excited, no matter if your team is doing anything or not. We are all excited because only a few days from today, we're going to hit a crack of the bat. We're going to hit the smack of the glove. And it's going to be an actual game at the end of the week, guys. And we all can't wait. So we can all get can get annoyed about what's been going on, or get happy and finally watch a game, and you can critique it and everything like that. It's absolutely amazing. So we got a new member of Talkin' Mets and Raw, Michael Hawkins. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So shout out to Michael Hawkins for being a new member of Talkin' Mets and Rob. Really appreciate it. I will send you a private message, Michael, just to let you know what you'll be getting. You will be getting, as a member, you'll be getting one of these Talkin' Mets and Rob stickers. And I am working with other members to get all that out there. I got to get everybody's information. And you'll also be in a running to get free giveaways with bobbleheads, all types of Citi Field replicas, every type of merchandise, gift cards, everything. So, Michael, I will keep you posted on everything that you will be entitled to and get a chance to win as well. So shout out to Michael Hawkins for being a new member of Talkin' Mets and Rob. Thank you so much, Michael. Fate International. Braves extend Olsen. Yes, they did. Ricky's Kitchen. As soon as I get to Puerto Rico, I'm going to end up right there. Right in Ricky's Kitchen. Hell yeah. Give me some Puerto Rican food. I can't complain about that. That's what I'm talking about. It is a possibility, Timothy, that they could sign Andrew Chafin and Tony Watson. That's not a bad 2 options. I hope the Mets get Andrew Chafin. I think that's so key to this offseason, because there'd be so much other things. The Mets, if they don't do that, I'm really going to be kind of upset with that. The bullpen. It could be it should still be solid, but getting Andrew Chafin just puts it a little bit more over the top for me. RFP, hey, listen. People are excited, man. You know what it is? It is what it is at this point. That's right, Christian. You got 2 shout-outs. Everybody's getting shout-outs today. Mike M. Projects can do this because Hosmer's salary drops $10 million next year, and Myers has $1 million buyout, save him exactly. And look, they're actually trying to trade these guys as well. So somewhere along the line, they're going to save money. So they have the opportunity and the finances to do so, the flexibility to actually sign Freeman. So it's not just, let's keep him away from the Dodgers or jack up the price. So we'll see. So let me just see if there's any news before I get to the other comments, guys. Just give me 1 second. Let's see. All right, so really nothing. We got to tweak that Joey Familia in his Phillies uniform, so we can start hitting long balls against him. Honestly, guys, once again, Met fans, if you're just tuning into the stream right now, if you're in the Florida, the Port St. Lucie, or you're just in Florida and you plan on going to a spring training game in Port St. Lucie, on Friday they're having an orange and blue scrimmage where admission is free, parking is free, beer and soda are free. All you gotta do is pay for if you want to buy merchandise, you got to pay for that and food. So everything else is free. So if you're going to get out to the game to watch that scrimmage, it's going to be great. I wish I was there. I actually looked at flights really quick to see if I can just pop in for a day and go out, but it's kind of impossible. I'm not paying $400 for a round trip flight for one day. That's kind of crazy. So with these gas prices, the flights are going up. So, but if you are in Florida, go enjoy it. It's technically a fan fest with a game, and that's great. And look, how can he not love Steve Cohen anymore? He spends money. He's making you go into spring training for free, giving free beverages, free parking. I mean, that saves you at least $100 right there without buying a ticket, no parking. I think parking at Clover Park is like $15. I think priority parking is like $20. If you're like closer to the stadium, to the where Clover Park is, the ticket can range you about $20. So before you even walk in the door, you're already down $100. Now you can spend $100 on concession. That's what they're doing. They're not stupid. Cohen knows. You get in there for free. You get soda for free, beverages for free, parking for free. People are going to buy tons of merchandise, tons of food. They're going to recoup that money real quick. So Cohen knows what he's doing. He's a businessman. He knows what he's doing. So if you're a Met fan, get down there on Friday for the orange and blue scrimmage. Free, 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 free. That's what it all is on Friday for you guys. Joe, what's up, buddy? Timothy, I mean, at this point, if somebody's not going to get vaccinated now, I don't see when they're actually going to get vaccinated, honestly. It's been, 2.5 years, or it's actually exactly 2 years around this exact time when the pandemic started and everything went haywire. I mean, it's been 2 years. If you haven't got the vaccine by now, or at least a year and a half since the vaccine has really popped out and been, you were able to get it anywhere you can go. If they haven't got it now, I don't think they're going to get it. But again, if you're going to have unvaccinated players, and if its mandate goes on for a couple of months, you're going to lose a lot of games from players that you might need. But again, the players union and the teams are working with the Yankees and the Mets, are working with Mayor Adams. I don't think they're going to get exceptions to the rule, but there is ways where you can have certain restrictions towards those players, like they have to wear a mask in the clubhouse at all times. When they walk inside the stadium, they have to be they had the mask on. A lot of that crazy nonsense that still doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. It is what it is. If they can do that, I mean, you're outside on the field, and all right, the dugout, yeah, they're close together, but they're still outside. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. Yes, Addicted. Yeah, it's the same agent. Yes. Joe R, what's up, buddy? Do you think the Mets will sign Chris Correa or Chapman? At this point, well, Chapman has to get traded for on the Mets end. But Correa, again, I thought there was rumors and everybody went crazy yesterday when I posted a video about the Mets possibly signing Correa. The only thing that I was saying in the video, and I brought it up, is because I had thoughts that if it's a 1-year deal, because Scott Boras is his new agent when he changed over to Scott Boras, the reason why there's information about why, or rumors that Correa might take a 1-year deal, it's all about Boras. Because if Correa takes a multi-year deal, Correa's former agent and agency gets a larger percentage of his contract, and Boras gets a lower percentage. So that's why you hear some rumblings about a 1-year deal for Correa, because Scott Boras wants all that percentage going to him. That's the only reason why they talked about a 1-year deal, and it's rumored that Correa possibly might do that. But it looks like he might go back to the Astros. But I can see the Mets saying, hey, what did the Astros offer you? And if he says 34 million, and if the Mets pop up and say, hey, 38 million, well, guess where he's going to go? He's going to go to the Mets. Again, it's still unlikely, but it had a thought in my head. And when I have thoughts in my head, I put it on my channel because that's what it is, right? We want to voice our opinions. Chris Bryant, I don't know what the Mets are doing anymore with Chris Bryant. I want Chris Bryant, but, I ain't the GM. So it looks like the Rockies are the favorite to get him. The Phillies were the favorite, so I don't know what's going on with the Phillies now. And Chapman, I don't think the Mets are going to trade for Chapman right now. It looks like they want to hold on to their prospects at the very least until the trade deadline to make a trade if they need it. Michael Badolfino. That's awesome, Mike. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit on that like button, Michael, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you enjoying the stream, buddy. Yeah, Emmanuel, listen, I think it's a stupid mandate because it doesn't make sense. Now, I would respect the mandate more if they didn't allow unvaccinated players from out of state not being able to play. But when you allow unvaccinated fans now in the arena, in the stadium, because you don't need to be vaccinated to walk into an arena or a show anymore in New York, it's pointless. Last time I checked, if you sneeze, if you cough, if you breathe in an area around people, it's going to get around, no matter if you're playing or not. So it just doesn't make no sense. It's a stupid mandate. Hopefully it gets lifted soon. They've been slowly rolling back restrictions in New York. I mean, you don't have to walk in to any store anymore with a mask. Again, I'm working, so I have to wear a mask at my job. That's okay. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me too much. But I'd rather go without it. But I'm not going to lose my job because I'm not going to wear a mask. The same thing with vaccination. So it is what it is at this point. You just have to follow some rules. It's stupid, but it is what it is. Stoney says F the Nats. I don't think the Mets are going to make any more pitching moves right now, honestly. There was a little bit of chatter about the Mets might move in Carrasco in a trade just to, get rid of him. But according to all reports, Carrasco is 100% healthy. He's ready to go. And he was saying around this time, if it was a normal spring training, within what it would have been already a month of spring training, he would have been hitting around 86 to 88. He was hitting 92 on the gun yesterday in the spring, in spring and when he was warming up yesterday. So that's a great sign. If Carrasco is healthy, everybody forgets how good he is. Yes, he's older, but he's that mystery guy that if he can perform the way he did a couple of years ago before he had that cancer scare, I mean, the Mets are going to be rolling. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, well, you know what? I don't blame Freeman. I do think the Braves should have, the Freeman did everything. Freeman, was the guy who was basically making nothing forever when he saw Acuna get money, extension, Albies get an extension, and Freeman's just sitting there like, what the hell am I doing? So I think Freeman took a little jab back at the Braves, actually, because the Braves could easily extended Freeman over the couple of years when they extended Acuna and Albies, and it probably pissed off Freeman. As much as Freeman loved Atlanta, I would have been pissed too. Like, hey, I'm the veteran here. I'm the guy who's been busting my ass. So you can actually pay these guys and you're not paying me. I would be a little pissed if I was Freeman as well. Joe R. # Mets rumors. Absolutely. Let's hope he gets some. There hasn't been much news at all today. Let's see. All right, so Jim Bowden on MLB Network Radio says Chris Bryant sweepstakes are down to the Rockies and the Phillies. All right, so there we go right there. So, again, the owner of the Rockies have been heavily involved in negotiations with Chris Bryant, which, listen, I'm rooting for the Rockies to get Chris Bryant because I don't want him on the Phillies. So, let Chris Bryant go to baseball Siberia in Colorado where he's never going to win, and he can just collect his money. So let's hope that if you're a Met fan, you want to hope that the Rockies sign Chris Bryant so we don't have to worry about him 19 times a year. Stony, right? Why is the Mets so quiet on getting a free agent or trade? We haven't heard any Mets news in a couple of days. Well, you know what? I think the Mets aren't. I don't see the Mets making any more big deals. Honestly, I'm one of those guys. That I think they should get another bat, but again, if they get Chafin and another arm, I'm going to be very solid with the offseason the Mets had. And again, just because they didn't get everybody they wanted or everybody that this team needed in the beginning of the year doesn't mean they're not going to make a big move in the deadline if they need it. And in all honesty, guys, this whole Rockies rumors about Chris Bryant, would you be surprised if at the trade deadline the Rockies put him on the trade market? On the trade block? I think they would. I mean, that's clearly their MO. I don't see what they're doing. The Rockies are terrible. They're not winning the AL West. The NL West, excuse me. I mean, you got the Giants, the Padres, and the Dodgers that all are fighting for this division. The Rockies ain't going nowhere. So if they want to waste money on Chris Bryant to win nothing, good for them. But, I still think that it's kind of what they're doing is trying to sign Chris Bryant so they have him as a nice trade chip by the trade deadline to get back more prospects. I think that's what they're doing. Nobody really talked about that, but I feel like that's what they're doing. Mark, how you doing? But Jays fan here. Love the content. Keep up the great work. Freeman to the Jays, please. But congrats to whoever gets him. If Jays don't, yeah, I still think the Jays are the favorite. Because clearly the Jays are going for it. I mean, I don't have to tell you that, Mike. So, I tend to believe that if the Jays are going for it and they're making all these moves, why not make that one more move that probably puts you over the top? And you can't guarantee a division by just the players on what you have on paper. You got to play the games. But let's be honest, if they get Freeman as well, it's going to be very hard to lose that division. They're going to rake all year. The pitching staff is solid. Little work in the bullpen here, and you're good to go. So yeah, Mark, thank you for the compliment. And yeah, I think your Jays are probably going to get him. Well, you know what, Joe? There's so many teams after so many players, and you know what? I don't blame these players for waiting a little bit, honestly, because at the end of the day, they know the more teams, the more their price is going up. That's what they're doing. Henry, about your Sox getting Freeman. Well, they just popped up yesterday about being a team that's shown interest now. I don't see the Red Sox as a favorite, but again, the Red Sox don't have a terrible team. I don't think they're anywhere near the Blue Jays, and I still don't think they're better than the Rays. And they're probably on the same level as the Yankees at this point. I could see them doing it, but I don't think they're going to have the biggest offer out there. And Freeman's going to the biggest offer. It's pretty obvious with that. Nick, you got a Freddie Freeman baseball card. It's a rookie card that's going to cost some money. Yeah, D Hall. Like I said, I wasn't happy with that deal. It's not that the end of the world. Without Ottavino was just a replacement for Familia. So one suck for another suck. So the only reason why I'm not very happy with the Ottavino trade is that he's a right-handed specialist. He can't pitch against left-handed hitters. His slider just goes right into the wheelhouse as lefties. And you know what? Him pitching a Olsen, you can't do it. So he's a right-handed specialist, and again, it's a replacement for Familia, an arm that just replaced Familia at this point. Cream City Figs. Do you think the Brewers got a chance to get Rizzo? I think Rizzo will probably prefer the Yankees. I don't think he's going to go to the Brewers. I mean, obviously, I don't have to tell you this. The Cubs and the Brewers are not the best of friends. So, they're big rivals. So, I doubt Rizzo is going to go to the Brewers just based on, unless that's the only deal he gets or the most money, then yeah, he'll probably go there. But I think the Yankees are probably, look, the Yankees are desperate at this point. The Yankees need Rizzo. So unless the Brewers are going to overpay for him, I don't think the Brewers are going to get Rizzo, in my opinion. Josh Donaldson, Junior Donaldson, 20 Jays. There you go. More Jays fans. see. Anthony, yes, I tend to agree. I think Rizzo is look, if the Yankees don't get Rizzo and Freeman signs elsewhere, Luke Voigt's your first baseman, unless they're gonna make a trade for Votto, which I don't see either. Because I don't think the Reds are just gonna trade Votto alone in a one player deal that goes to the Yankees, because the Reds will probably package Castillo in that deal, and I still don't think the Yankees are gonna trade Volpe or Dominguez, one of those two guys, in a deal which the team is gonna ask for. I mean, if you didn't trade one of those guys for Olsen, which is probably the best option, then you're not going to trade it for agent Votto. It just doesn't make sense, especially seeing that the Yankees just don't do it. Yeah, Victor, that's another thing too. Unvaccinated players can't play in Toronto either. So, if you got this nonsense in New York and Toronto, specifically with the Yankees, because obviously that's a division rival, if the Yankees are home a lot and then they got to play the Jays, them players are not vaccinated, can't be on they can't play. So let's hope that gets this figured. I mean, with Canada, it's not going to get figured out because that mandate is going to stay for a while. So at the moment, you're going to have to lose out on players that are not vaccinated. And let's hope it's not the big boys that you need to play every day. Going to Toronto, you got to play them 19 times. So it's either 8 or 7 games that you're going to Toronto. So we'll see. Victor, welcome back. Welcome back, Victor. You too. It's been an everyday thing, guys. Everything day for the last week or two. Joe, I don't know if I'm the best, but I appreciate the compliment. La Potencia, where's Suzuki headed? Well, we heard the news that he was going to the Padres with that, what was it, 5 years, 70 million? And then that was blown up. He didn't choose a team, apparently. So I don't know anymore. I don't know. The Rays were looking to get him as well. So, I mean, the Padres and the Rays, I guess, are the favorite. I guess. I don't know. It's like you hear weird stories about it because you get a news out of Japan as well. Like I saw a story, was it last night? I had to put that damn article in Google Translate so I can read it because it was in Japanese, and they were saying that he's going to pick a team on the West Coast, which is pretty obvious because, well, obviously Japan is closer to the West Coast than the East Coast. So that's what I read. Again, they could be just throwing rumors out there, but I mean, it's pretty clear that he's going to the West Coast. Where? Who knows? I mean, I think Seattle's out of it now since the Winker deal. I don't see them doing that with the Suzuki thing. It's the whole thing with Ichiro as well, which is always a big draw for them. And it's a huge population of Japanese people there in Seattle as well. It's a huge Japanese population there as well. So we'll see. Honestly, he's going to the West Coast. I would be shocked if he goes somewhere in the East Coast. I see Freeman signing with the Jays, Leo. I see your profile pic. It looks like with the Yankees there with Stanton. So I believe you're a Yankee fan. So I unfortunately for you guys, I think he's going to the Jays. All right, what else do we have here? Backyard toy. Dodgers offer 6 years. Freddie was upset that Braves only exactly. That's the big reason why he kind of took it as disrespectful. He saw Albies and Acuna got extensions basically right away as soon as they got up, like a year and a half later, and they got extensions. And Freeman's like, wait a second, I've been here for 4 or 5 years, 6 years now, and you didn't come to the table with anything relevant. So it is what it is at this point. I don't, I tend to think that he thought it was a disrespectful offer. And I think that's the reason why, the Braves couldn't wait any longer because the A's weren't going to wait to trade Olsen. they were going to get the best offer. And if the Braves were still trying to figure out Freeman, they could have lost out on Oakland and Olsen, and who knows where Olsen would have went at this point. So I think the Braves had to make a quick decision. They probably went back to Freeman and says, listen, we need you to say yes or no to this deal now. We're going to be making a deal with the A's, and we got to know now. And Freeman was like, can you bump it up? And they said no, and that was it. And then the deal got done with the Olsen. So I think that's the problem. That's what happened with the whole Freeman situation. Oh, yeah, that whole Tatis thing. I mean, honestly, the Padres are not going to mess with Tatis as their superstar player. But let's be honest, guys, they had every right to void that contract if they wanted to. He has in his contract that he's not supposed to do those extreme, extreme sports or the motorcycle. It's almost in everybody's contract, especially when they guarantee. So they could easily voided the contract, and that would have screwed Tatis, but they're not going to make Tatis mad because then he's not going to play. So, once again, the player wins in this situation. Lawrence, we're still waiting for what the Mets to do. Look for them to probably do a bullpen. Get a bullpen arm in Chafin or Watson or Tepera, guys like that. So there we go. Let's see. Leaf, how you doing? Parker, since the Pirates signed Vogelback, who do you think will play first, Yoshi or Vogelback? Probably Vogelback, honestly. I like Vogelback. He's a monster. I like him a lot. Yoshi, I can see they might give that the playing first. I think. I'm not going to be no expert in the Pirates, honestly. I'm just trying to give you my what I think. Not that I know what's going on in Pirates world right now, but I would put Vogelback at first base. He's a beast, and in that bandbox of ballpark, he'll hit a lot of home runs there. Excuse me, guys. Daily Mets coverage. The Scherzer and Marte are shirts. This one is a Lindor jersey. I'm not a big jersey guy. I'm more of a shirt hoodie guy. So those are shirts with the Scherzer and Marte, but that jersey is Lindor. So yeah. Robert Sorrow, how you doing, buddy? Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, please hit on that like button, guys. Let's get the stream out to more people. I will be watching all the way until 7 o'clock tonight. And hopefully we get some news so we can start talking about any trades or signings that happens. Because, well, it's been a dead day today, guys. Completely dead. We heard rumors, but nothing has been actually signed on a piece of paper yet. So I'm going to just check Twitter now like I always do and see what's going on in the Twitter field. There has been a little bit of a news for the Mets. They signed Mike Montgomery to a minor league deal. Oh, now it's a major league deal. Base salary of $1.1 million. So Mike Montgomery. It's not a big move, but it's something. They're just adding more pitching depth. So that's what the Mets need at this point. All right, so here's something about for us Met fans. Anthony DeComo tweeted some defensive position insights from Buck Showalter. As of right now, Jeff McNeil will be the primary second baseman with Robinson Cano also receiving time there. J.D. Davis will work mostly at third with some reps at first base and left. Dominic Smith will see time at first and left field. So there you go right there when it comes to position players. So what that tells me in this whole little tweet here is that Cano, Davis, and Smith are going to get a lot of time at DH as well. Let's see. What else do we have? Any other rumors? Nope. All right. There we go. So let's just see. Okay, cool, guys. All right. So no news yet, guys, except the Mets signed Mike Montgomery, another depth piece uh, for as a starting pitcher. So right now with Yamamoto, McGill, and Peterson, and Trevor Williams, we got about 4 extra pitchers. Now 5 with Mike Montgomery as depth pieces in the minor leagues, and probably McGill will be a long man out of the bullpen. So once again, I'm going to keep on looking at your comments, guys, until we get any news over the next couple of hours. Joe, I do like Mark. He's really good. He has great videos, actually. And I actually met him a couple of times. He's a Met fan, obviously. I think you guys know that. I met him in Port St. Lucie a couple of years ago. Cool guy. I had a beer with him, I believe, in Washington, in D.C., when that outside bar is called the Ballpark, right near National Stadium, right there. So he's a cool guy. I like him. He's good. Let's see. I first started watching baseball in 07. My dad. Yes. Oh, nice, Lapatetti. That's awesome. Stoney, I know. You've been cursing all day trying to get the Mets to do something. So he give you a little bit of insight on what's going on in the Talking Mets and Rob studio, so to speak, or my room. I'm watching Carton and Roberts right now. I got my iPad on MLB Network right now over here. I got my phone over here with just constant Twitter updates. I got Twitter on my screen here too. So it's a whole bunch of screens. A lot. Yes, Tyler, the Rockies and the Phillies are the finalists. It seems for Bryant only. Those two teams, who knows? Yesterday, a couple of days ago, only Freeman had like 3 suitors. Now he has like 6 suitors. So we'll just see what happens on that aspect of everything. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right. So let's continue to look what we're doing. Oh yeah, I don't see the Yankees trading Torres in a Votto deal. Yeah, Torres and Voit probably won't get it done for Votto, and probably Castillo. Because yeah, they can use Voit at first base, and he's cheap. But I don't think the Yankees are going to give up on Torres just yet. They're going to give him one more year to see what he can do at second base. He's a better second baseman, and maybe he gets his head right offensively by playing second base. But we'll see. Yeah, Joaquin, I actually, when it comes to Freddie Freeman, I think why they're hammering for Freddie Freeman is that I don't think a lot of these Jays fans want to get rid of a ton of prospects to get Chapman or Hader. Honestly, Freeman's only money, so that's why they're probably going after him a lot more. Again, if they lose out on Freeman, you can probably see them going after Chapman rather quickly if they don't get Freeman. Joe, I am not allowed to do that unless you're a part of if you're a creator, because for some reason we get demonetized if we do that. I would, believe me, I thought it would be fun. I did it once, but it was before I was monetized, and that didn't really matter. YouTube don't care until you get monetized, and they would demonetize me and throw my channel away for a while. So I can't do that. I wish I could, because I would definitely do that. That would be a lot of fun, but I can't. I'm sorry. I don't hear nothing with talks right now with the Mets. Nothing. Oh, okay, that makes sense, Daryl. Yeah, I mean, The Jays and Dodgers with Freeman makes sense. And let's see, front runner, but then said validity can move to third. Well, yeah, I mean that's what we were talking about with the Mets, right? When we had that bright idea that the Mets could get Freeman. We were like, okay, well, Freeman could play third base, right? Or Alonso could play third base. So Freeman can play third base. He did it a little bit with the Braves, not a lot, but he did it a couple of times. He's perfectly fine at third base. So the Jays could do that, or even the Dodgers for that matter. But they do have Turner. So, I mean, the Jays can actually do that for third base. TD, what's up, buddy? Let's go Mets. Absolutely, man. Yeah, D Hall, they have Peraza as well. But again, I don't think the teams are asking for Peraza. They're asking for Volpe or Dominguez, and the Yankees aren't doing that. You know, I probably can guarantee you that Cashman put Peraza in a package with probably Voit and maybe another prospect or two that was not named Dominguez and Volpe, but the teams don't want that. Look what the Braves got sent over to Oakland. 4 of their top 15 prospects. The Yankees weren't doing that. It's not even close. Even if you put Peraza in that deal and you give 2 more top 10 prospects that are not named Dominguez and Volpe, then Oakland wasn't going to do that. They got a hole back for Olsen, and that's the problem with the Yankee situation right now, because they're not willing to spend. They're not willing to move one of those 2 big time prospects in Volpe or Dominguez, and the teams are asking for them, and you can't blame them for that. And you know what? Yes, Peraza can be better than Volpe, but there's no guarantee of that. You know, Volpe's the name right now. Dominguez is the name right now. Yankees ain't moving those 2 guys. I think Peraza could go into a deal, but without any of those other 2 that we just spoke about, you know, Peraza is basically the only name, so to speak, that would be in that deal that anybody probably knows unless you're a Yankee fan. So I just don't see it unless they get those 2 guys in there. Red Fox, it's a possibility. I mean, you're signing a lot of pitchers. You just saw Carlos Martinez as well. So, I haven't really heard anything about the Giants with Schwarber. A little bit, but not enough to. I think it would be like, actually, you know, worth noting that he actually might be favored to be the favorite to go there. I don't think so, but it's obviously a possibility. Leo, I have a pretty, I want to say I have a pretty good feeling. I don't know, because every day I feel like Freeman's going to sign any moment, and he hasn't. So I don't know anymore. I mean, I would be very surprised if you don't see him. I think he'll probably sign right either the day before the first spring training game or the day of the first spring training game. I don't think he wants to wait too long, because, you know, he's got to get to, you know, his new team. You know, before the season starts. You know, you want to get acclimated with your new team. Morgan, can anyone tell me if Freeman or Schwarber to the Blue Jays? They're probably both favored. Oh, sorry, excuse me. They're both very much on the radar on the Blue Jays. I could see them, if they lose out on one guy, go much harder after the guy that's left. I could see either Schwarber or Freeman to the Jays. Let's see. Andrew, do you think that the Braves might be interested in trading for Kimbrel? I haven't heard that, but it is. I mean, they got a pretty decent bullpen, but I mean, are the Braves going to be willing to pay the rest of Kimbrel's contract? I don't know how. You know, they just gave an 8-year deal to Olsen. You know, so I don't know how much more they're going to spend, but I mean, they gave a lot of prospects away already. I don't know if they want to give more, because you probably have to give at least one prospect, not a big name, but a prospect, and you have to take on that money. I don't know if the Braves are going to do that. La Potencia, I haven't heard Walker's out until May. He's going to be a little bit behind. I can see him back probably in the second week of April, probably like the second or third week in April, sometime in April for sure. Chafin's stats were pretty good. Let me see. Let's check. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just checking it out. Andrew Chafin pitching. All right, here we go. Oops. All right, so he was obviously with Oakland. Oh, he's with a lot of. He was with Oakland and Chicago. In his ERA between the two teams was 1.83. He had a 2.606 ERA with the Cubs in 43 games, a 1.53 ERA with the Oakland A's in 28 games, and he had a 1.83 ERA in total in 71 games. So he had an excellent year. In 2020, he had over a 6.5 ERA, but that was 2020. Every year other than he was at 3.76 with Arizona, 3.10, 3.51. So he figured it out. He was excellent. So 1.83 ERA last year. So he is very good. So a lot of teams are probably going to be after him for sure. Steve Park, the Mets look good for 2022. Yeah, I think they're very solid, actually. I think they're very, very solid. They're not great. I still give the nod to the Braves division wise because of that Olsen trade. They're still very scary. You got to give them respect for being the champions. But I think the Mets, if they're healthy, and the same thing with the Braves need a healthy pitching staff. You know, they do. You know, they're counting on Soroka to be that number 2 behind Fried. And you know, with Soroka with his 2 Achilles tears in 1 year or a year and a half, you know, if he's healthy, now you got a really great 1-2 punch as well. But again, if you know, it's probably impossible, but if everybody's healthy on both teams, I see the Braves just a little bit better than the Mets overall with record. And, you know, I will have my preseason predictions for stand-ins in about 2 weeks or so, right before the season starts. So you guys will know the where I put the Mets, the Braves, and everybody in the NL East. And I also do rankings for the pitching staffs in the NL East and the lineups as well. So you'll get a pretty good idea what I think of overall when it comes to records. But I still think the Braves are a little bit better than the Mets, maybe by it's very small margin, maybe one to 3 games. You got to remember the offseason is not over yet. The Mets can still do more. The Braves can still do more. So, but the Mets do look pretty good for 2022 for sure. Yeah, Michael, it's a real possibility that he might actually they might swoop in. I think that was the big reason why you heard that the Padres are now involved in the talks to get Freddie Freeman because, well, losing Tatis for at least 3 months, that's a lot of offense you're going to be losing. And let's be honest, without Tatis, I mean, who's really, you got Will Myers, Hosmer's not great. So, the Padres are in a weird scenario right here with Machado and everything like that as well. They're in a weird spot right now, honestly. They got, all their pitchers are going to be healthy this year. They might lose a lot of games like 3-1, which sucks for them. But it is what you know what, Michael? I think that's why the Padres are in it. I think you're absolutely right. Bakeem, Mets are gonna do it. Sampson, left-hander from Milwaukee. I'm not familiar with that name. I've heard of it, but I'm not actually. Let me check. So it's Sampson on the Brewers, right? Okay, it's not him. There's a couple of Sampsons here. Let's give me a second. I'm just gonna check his stats really quick. Sampson Brewers. Okay, just give me a second there, guys, so I can just check out Adrian Simpson. All right, so I want to make sure I get the right guy in here so I can see the stats so we can actually go over really quick. All right, Adrian Simpson. Is it Adrian Simpson? Because I see a Simpson here. When I put in Brewers, it came up Adrian Simpson. He's on Texas. Chicago. I'm sorry. I could be wrong, but I'll look into it. Beckham. Well, Ryan, it hasn't been technically quiet anymore. Uh, the report said that the Rockies and the Phillies are the favorites or the finalists. It said to land Chris Bryant. So Ryan, I don't know what fan you are. I don't know if you're a Phillies fan or maybe a Mets fan. I'm not 100% sure. I apologize if maybe I should know, but I don't. The Mets are probably completely out of it, unfortunately. But I do think if he goes to the Rockies as a Met fan, I'll be happy. So, so glad we can hopefully get Chris Bryant out of the NL East. Yeah, Michael, injuries suck in baseball. We all know that. I mean, the Mets season turned upside down when Jacob deGrom couldn't pitch the whole second half. I mean, it's hard to actually do that. Avon, I don't know what the plan is in Cincinnati. I honestly don't know. They went for it a couple of years ago by signing a couple of guys, putting the team around Votto, and then, they didn't go anywhere. And, with the Reds, they're like, all right, well, we didn't go anywhere. Let's, trade the guys that we can get prospects for. You're technically in rebuild. Excuse me. I think they're in rebuild mode now, honestly. I know that sucks for you Red fans. You got a great fan base out there. When I've been this Great American a couple of times, your fan base is excellent. Around the ballpark is amazing. And it's unfortunate, the same thing when it comes to Pittsburgh fans, the Pirates fans. They got a beautiful ballpark, a beautiful surrounding area. They got bars, restaurants all over the place, going over the Roberto Clemente Bridge and all that. It's beautiful. The same thing with the Reds. They got a beautiful surrounding around the stadium, and it's like I don't understand these owners. Like, you got great fan bases that you're basically torturing, and they don't. Honestly, I feel bad for you guys. I don't know what they're doing, Ivan. I really don't. Raul, I think they're around that area. I think it's going to be at least 6 years. I think the money's going to be a little bit higher than 180 because when you got all those teams, it seems like the price is just going to continue to go up. Left-hander from Milwaukee. All right, let's see. All right, give me a second. Let me just check that out. All right, let's continue to look at the Nate's card. The Mets suck. What are you a fan of? I'm curious. Yeah, Lindor looks happy now. He looks like he don't have that bright eye look like he had last year, like he was afraid of everything. So I think Lindor's gonna have a bounce back year. Obviously, he's not going to, you know, you know, be a product of that $340 million. You're not going to get that production. Obviously, he's not worth $340 million, but that's what the Mets gave him. But I can actually see them. All right, so I'm looking at the Brewers. I can see Lindor having a really good year. All righty. Yeah, I still don't see him here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see him anywhere. He's not on the Brewers roster. But I'll look into it. Don't worry, Rakeem. Once again, guys, I want to give a shout out to Michael Hawkins for being the new member of my channel, guys. I really do appreciate him. Uh, giving me the opportunity to accept him into the family, because that's awesome. Because it's a lot of cool things that you guys are going to be in the running for, with giveaways and ticket options and all that fun stuff. Even if you're not a Met fan, it's cool. You win a giveaway, a ticket giveaway, I will purchase tickets for you for whatever team you want, whatever city you want, and all that fun stuff. So thank you, Michael, so much for being a new member. Sledge, what's up, buddy? I know there's a lot of people in the chat I still haven't got to yet, but I'm rolling down the list. All right. Oh, yeah, I would like to see Correa with the Mets, but I still think it's very unlikely. Yes, Joe. It's a membership fee, every monthly fee. There's a couple of price ranges. If you want to take a look at it, just click on the join button or on that money logo by the comment section, and you'll see the different prices. And just look at the perks that come with each membership. Obviously, the higher the membership, the more perks you get. And just to make it clear, guys, when it comes to YouTube, they won't let me live stream member only live streams until there's around 15 to 20 members. I'm not there yet. I'm getting there. But I just wanted to let you know. So even though the perk says live streams for members, I can't do that yet until I get at least 20 members on the channel. So but all the other perks are all ready to go. During the season, you'll get like exclusive photos when I'm at games and stuff like that. You guys get live streams while I'm at games. You get giveaways, you get ticket chances to win, and all that fun stuff. You become a member. I am getting more and more of these my logo, the channel logo, Talkin Mets with Rob stickers that I will be sending everybody as soon as I get everything together and I make sure I got everybody involved and make sure I don't miss out on anybody. So yes, you do have to pay. Just look at the prices depending on the membership you choose. Michael, I'm not, you haven't done nothing. You're looking like you're probably going to get Rizzo. And I know you weren't very happy about that either. Joe, I don't think the Mets are going to sign KB, unfortunately. Yeah, Michael, every day it seems like there's a new team on these players. So, why would you sign when you know your price is probably going to go up? So, they're not stupid, but I think most of them are going to sign but either the day before the first spring training game or the day of, because I don't think they want to wait any longer, actually. Junior Donaldson, there goes your shout out, buddy. There you go. Joe R, shout out to Joe R right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Victor, they're not talking to anybody at the moment. At least we haven't heard of anything yet. But look for them to start talking to bullpen on most likely Chafin. All right. So I'm just continuing to go down the list, guys. Henry, hot take. The Yankees struggled at the beginning of the season because he is unvaccinated and can't play in New York. Well, I think the Yankees are going to have a hard time in general, honestly. Vaccinated or not. They're in trouble. I mean, I honestly don't know what the hell the Yankees are doing. They're acting cheap right now, and they're not giving away their prospects, which puts them in a huge hole because they're limited on who they can get. Yes, Joe R. Familia is finally gone. Let's hope he don't actually pitch well against the Mets. Michael, yeah, you've been saying that. Padres seem like they're a big favorite. I think now as well. Not only are they trying to keep them away from the Dodgers, they need that offensive help with Tatis being out a few months. Christopher, Freeman to LA, baby. Bigfoot, I would be very shocked if that happens, but that would be hilarious. That would be such a Cohen move, the steal Freeman from everybody. Yeah, Rocky, good riddance to Familia. Robert Soro, Blake Train, Daniel Hudson, Tommy Cal, and Brusal Gratiol. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Michael, when is Freeman signing? I have no idea. I mean, we thought he was going to sign a couple of days ago when he's just not there, unfortunately. Let's see what we got, guys. Do we got any news? Let's see. All right. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Little confused about nothing's have really been talked about much at all. Yes, Christopher, I agree with the vax mandate nonsense. I think it's so stupid. But again, guys, like I said, there's nothing we can do about that, and you know what? The players knew about this mandate. I personally would never tell anybody hey, you should get the mandate or you can't work. Stupid. Again, no matter what your take is on the vaccination, if you got it or not, or you're against it, it's still the mandate. Luckily, if you're allowed to still, if you're not vaccinated and you find a way to work in New York, which is kind of illegal, supposedly, good for you. But I mean, it's the mandate. What are you gonna do? It's nothing we can do about it, even though it's stupid. Jay, you live in Delaware, but you just want to beat the Phillies. Who doesn't want to beat the Phillies? Yeah, I don't think the Yankees offer Correa a contract at all, honestly. Richard, good afternoon, buddy. Thank you for tuning in. I didn't see a time, Victor, but it's probably during. Oh well, it's a Friday, so it's a scrimmage. It'll probably be an afternoon game, probably 1-2 o'clock, most likely. Yeah, Sticker. I know a lot of Jays fans are popping up around on the stream, but and everybody's just clamoring for Freeman. New Yorker, you're right. It's again, he's still here for now. But it does seem like, like Lindor talked about McNeil in his press conference. Again, I wasn't an advocate of trading Jeff McNeil based on his performance only. I thought it was just basically a done deal with the relationship between Lindor and McNeil. And I thought the Mets were probably sick of it. But listen, if McNeil can go back to the way he was offensively, that's a huge, huge deal for this Mets lineup. Huge deal. And let's hope he does if he's going to be sticking around. Leaf, yeah. So we don't play the Braves for May 2nd, but we do play a lot of West Coast teams. So I guess that's a good thing. But that means we play Atlanta a lot more times during the rest of the year. So the Giants are in talks with Conforto. I'm not surprised. I feel like a West Coast team is going to sign Conforto. Robert, yes, that was a great deal. One of the first big names off the board after the lockout was Rodon to the Giants. That was a solid deal for them. Yeah, the Rockies have been going hard for like 3 days for Bryant now. The owner got involved, and it's like, if it was that serious, why hasn't Bryant signed yet? It's kind of weird. Noah, I haven't heard anything about Jock Peterson at all. You got to see the big names go off the board first before teams go after these the smaller names that are still free agents. So that's where we're at the moment. Luis Castillo to the Dodgers, maybe. I don't know what the Reds are doing. I haven't heard much about the Castillo rumors at all. And I think the Reds might hold on to Castillo until the deadline, because you're gonna get more probably in the deadline than you are now. So they might hold on to him just to get a little bit more back in the trade deadline. Well, I think Conforto's still very good. Everybody, a lot of my fans are down on him after last year, but just so you know, Robert, he's a very streaky guy. He'll hit you about 5 home runs in a week, and then he'll go cold for 2 weeks. So he's a very streaky guy, but I think he's going to bounce back from the terrible season he had last year. So it would be a nice pickup for the Giants. Do I? I do sound like Mike Tyson. That's funny. Jeremy, again, I mean, you can believe that or not. It doesn't matter what you believe, honestly. That's your own personal choice. But again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the mandate because you don't believe in it. Mothman, Dominic, how you guys doing? Yeah, again, the mask on the mask. Look, it's a personal choice at this point now. The mandate with the mask is over, so it's your personal choice. Uh, Binzi, how do you feel about the Phillies this year? Well, the Phillies still need help. They were talking about getting a big bat. They are in, and the finalists for Chris Bryant. If they can get Chris Bryant, that helps their lineup out a lot. But when it comes to, they still need a little help in that rotation. And they picked up Familia. Yeah, and that helps a little bit. But I mean, do you really trust those guys in that bullpen? I mean, the Mets didn't want to keep them, so I mean, you still need bullpen help as well. But their offense, if they get another bat, they could be very dangerous with that offense. You can't leave Harper out there to dry, even though you got Hoskins, but he's a streaky hitter. I think it's really important for the Phillies to actually make some big moves here because you're just going to be, waving around second and third place the whole year, and one thing goes wrong, now you're a team that's not even close to the playoffs. I mean, the Phillies have been having the same problems the Mets have. Even though the Phillies have been spending more money, they've been around the same records over the last couple of years around the Mets, and they've been spending a lot more than the Mets over the last couple of years. So the Phillies have to figure it out because sooner or later they're going to blow it up eventually. All right, so let's see what's going on with Chris Bryant. Oh, Joe, I didn't. I'm sorry. Hold on, Joe. I didn't get it. It didn't send for some reason. Didn't. Oh wait, hold on. I think I got it. Nope, I didn't get it. I didn't get it, buddy. For some reason, it just not make me show. All right, so let's keep on going through the chat right now. Mothman, not at the moment. Not no Mets news at the moment. They signed Mike Montgomery to a 1.1 major league deal. So that's another depth piece for starting pitcher. He'll probably end up in the minors anyway. Robert, a Trey Turner extension. Yes, I can see that from the Dodgers. Joe R. I actually said that. I went biased for a second. I'm like, the Mets and Blue Jays World Series would be pretty cool. Yeah, Michael, you know what? I don't really see that. I don't really, look to another team and say, oh, my team had a better offseason than the Yankees. I mean, it has to be obvious for everybody. If the Mets and Yankees do nothing else the rest of the time, clearly the Mets had a better offseason. But I just look at my team and say, did my team do enough than teams in their division to give themselves a shot at a division? And I think the Mets did do more than enough, or at least enough to be a contender for the NL East. And that's all you got to ask for from your teams. When you make the playoffs, and now with the way baseball is now, it's not the best team is the team that's winning the World Series anymore. It's only the team that gets hot the last week or two of the season and are hot into the playoffs. And that's what we've seen over the last couple of years. All right. All right. Let's see what we got on Twitter, guys. All right. I didn't see anything on with Morosi for Chris Bryant. That might have been a little while ago. Let's see. What else do we got? Let's see. Let's check out if we got any news, guys. A little bit on Freeman. Yeah, not much. Once again. Yep, I don't see nothing, guys. So all right. Yeah, I didn't see nothing, guys. All right, so we'll keep on going there, right? Bindy, I'm a little biased here. Let Chris Bryant go to the Rockies. I don't want you Phillies to get him, unfortunately. Obviously, I mean, why would I want the Phillies to get him? Morgan, there haven't been nothing. I mean, there's been a little bit of information that the Blue Jays are very serious about Freeman, but they can easily pivot to Schwarber if they don't land Freeman. So we'll see. The Owl, man, what's up, buddy? Haven't long time no see, buddy. You know what? It seems like the Mets are going to keep these guys. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I think they're going to keep them, honestly. You know, they were talking about where J.D. Davis and Dom Smith and Robinson Cano, how they're going to play in every situation. McNeil is the number one second baseman. Robinson Cano is going to play here and there. Same thing with Dominic Smith. He's going to play first and left field on platoon, and J.D. Davis is going to play third base and first base, you know, as a platoon as well. So I'm just thinking all those guys that you just spoke about, Davis, Smith, and Robinson, Cano, all these guys are probably going to get time at DH a lot. So, you know, if they're going to keep these guys, you might as well use them and use them where you have the best shot to win with them. And I think I still think I've been saying this for months and months and months. JD Davis is the perfect DH guy for the New York Mets. Perfect. If he's healthy with his wrist, and he looks like he is, this guy can hit 20 plus home runs, bat 280, and knock in 70 RBIs when he's healthy. In 2019, look at his stats. He had 20 plus home and he batted 285. That is something that I would take every day of the week with a DH spot. Robert, I think it can be a realistic situation with Conforto to the Giants. I think Conforto wants to go to the West Coast. You know, I thought the Mariners were going to be a big favorite to get him, but with that Winker deal that just was made yesterday, I think they're out on the Conforto deal, and I think he wants to go to the West Coast, in my opinion. All right, is it possible that I saw somebody put Freeman to the Jays? Let me see if that was confirmed. Let's see. Let's see. I didn't see that yet, guys. I see a lot more information regarding all these vaccine things with New York. All right, so yeah, still nothing yet, guys. So we're still waiting for what we want to hear. We just want some news. You know, we can get excited about news. Obviously, there's going to be some fans that are pissed off because the team in the division just got either a Freddie Freeman or Chris Bryant, and we just want to talk about it. And it hasn't been nothing to talk about except answering questions and voicing your opinion at this point. Yeah, Peter, that's 100% what's happening at the moment. There has been enough trades. There's been more trades than signings at this point. But yeah, that's what they're doing. And like I said, you're going to see a lot more signings over the next couple of days for sure. A lot of these players are going to try to sign before the first game of spring training. They guys want to get into spring training, the facilities with their team right away. Because remember, guys, we only got 3 weeks of spring training. It's going to go like that. As soon as the first game starts, it's going to be April already. So, you know, they're going to start picking it up. You know, there's a couple of people saying breaking Freeman to the brace, but I don't see that. I'm retweeting like a nut right now. I don't see that, guys. Look, if you want to tell me who put that out there, let me know so I can search it really quick. But I still haven't seen it. I have not seen that yet, guys. But I still haven't seen the Freeman news as of yet, guys. So if you got anything, any type of news on Twitter, just send me the name so I can search it so we can all confirm it. Yeah, Todd. You know what? Me and my friend were talking about that yesterday. They bring him as an invitee, Alex Claudio. He had one by a year, and you know he could be an option. I think that's why the Mets brought him in. That kind of makes sense. So we'll see. hopefully he has a good spring so the Mets can use him in the bullpen. Absolutely. That's a good call, Todd. Great comment there. 6 years, 192 for Freeman. See, I think can actually happen, but I haven't seen that yet. I don't know where you heard that from, but if you want to put it out there, please let me know. Sweaty, I don't know if the Mets make a move. If they do, it would probably be a bullpen arm. Yeah, Joe, I'm not going to be happy either if the Phillies get KB. Let's hope they don't. Yeah, Jason, exactly. We've been talking about that. Every day there seems like there's a new team on another free agent player. So, why if the players know they're going to get more teams involved, that means more money for these guys. So that's why they're waiting. I had a feeling that Freeman was going to sign sometime early last on the weekend or even yesterday. But when you hear more teams, you might as well sit back and relax because they're going to keep on bidding. And every couple hours, you're probably going to get an offer that's a little bit more and a little bit more. So, like I said, I think most of these guys are going to sign before the first spring training game because the guys want to be in camp. Yeah, sir. We've been talking about that. I think whoever the Blue Jays don't get, they're going to pivot to one of those guys. And that obviously makes sense. They want that other bat in the lineup for sure. All right, what else we got here, guys? Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, don't forget to hit on that like button, guys. Let's get this stream out to more people. I'll be watching until 7 o'clock tonight. Hopefully, we get some talks and actually real solid rumors or even moves so we can start talking about it. We're almost 2 hours into the stream, and we've got nothing except the Mets signed Mike Montgomery as a depth starting pitcher. That's probably going to end up in the minors for $1.1 million. It's nothing big. We do know that Chris Bryant has two teams that are the favorite to land him, the Colorado Rockies and the Philadelphia Phillies. We do know that the Padres have shown interest in Freddie Freeman as well. So another team is entering the sweepstakes for Freddie Freeman at the moment. I still think the Jays are the favorites to land him, but we're still waiting for anything that we can hear about these guys signing or any trades or anything at this moment. Rizzo to the Yankees, we're still waiting for certain information to get it out there to you guys. Another Jays fan, Jonah, and I don't want Freeman because he is too expensive and we should get somebody like Schwarber. Again, there was a few Jays fans that I'd rather have Schwarber. He's younger. You're going to get more power. But the intangibles that Freeman brings, the leadership, a lot Braves fans, they wanted Olsen. I understand that. When you look at the two stats with Freeman and Olsen, you can't deny the fact that Olsen's better offensively. But there's no guarantee that Olsen goes to the Braves, got the shadow of Freddie Freeman and performs. And Olsen in a big spot in the playoffs, who really actually with the A's, they seem to always make the playoffs, but they never do anything. What do we see with Freddie Freeman? This guy always gets the big hit. And with the Jays, that's a huge deal for a young team that you have to put Freddie Freeman in that team. With the leadership, he's got that championship pedigree. He's a clutch player. And you know what? He'll take a lot of pressure off the young guys on that Blue Jays lineup. Michael Ryder, yeah, the Giants, they got a really good pitching staff. I would like to see a little bit more bats on their side, but, can they repeat what they did last year? I don't think so, but I think they're going to be pretty damn good. I don't think the Pirates are going to go after Rizzo. You don't want Rizzo? I know you don't, Michael. I know you don't want Rizzo. I know you don't want Rizzo, and I don't blame you. Clearly Olsen was the guy. That can't happen. Freeman was number 2. I don't think the Yankees are going to spend that much on Freeman. And that's why I think Rizzo is basically your choice now, honestly. Raphael, yeah, the Yankees can try to trade for Dominic Smith, but I don't mean the Mets are going to do it. The Mets and Yankees don't want to make each other better. Avon, you might be right about that no trade clause with Votto, but I think Votto wants to get out of there most likely a contending team is going to be trading for him, and I think Votto wants to try to win a championship. He's up there in age; he got a few years left in his career, so we'll see. Joe R, don't worry about that. Everybody knew just because DeGrom confirmed it, everybody got like crazy about the opt out. Don't worry about that. The Mets are going to sign Jacob DeGrom. Don't worry about that. The Mets knew he's going to opt out. And, the Mets, after he opts out, the Mets have an exclusive negotiating period I think it's like a week and a half, or maybe it's not even that much, about a week to negotiate a contract before he becomes an unrestricted free agent. So the Mets ain't going to let him go. Don't worry about that. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking at something. All right, cool. Just checking. All right. So what else we got in the comments, guys? Because, guys, you're keeping this live stream alive right now with all your comments because Major League Baseball news is just silent for the most part. Joe, I will make a poll about a World Series winner, but it's hard to actually do that. Yes, you guys can vote on it, but at the moment, there's so many free agents that are still out there that teams can be so much better in a day or two. So I'm going to do that when it gets closer to the end of spring training, and then we can actually do a poll about that because there's so much question marks with all the teams because anybody can still sign anybody at this moment. If the Yankees decide to actually wake up and sign Correa and Freeman, now the Yankees have a pretty good team, so we just don't know. That's why I'm not going to do it just yet, but I know what you mean, Joe. Don't worry. That poll is going to go up there in a few weeks. Nick, thank you. Yeah, Red Lukey, I agree. Definitely a frenzy because it's not. It's really not. It's really freaking not. It's annoying because everybody was like, oh, remember, even the reporters like, oh, there's going to be a frenzy of signings and trades when the lockout ends. We're sitting there like twiggling out thumbs, just waiting for anything. So, yeah, I completely agree, Real Yuki. Ed Nunez, big Mets fan, but very disappointed about Fernando Tatis being out for 3 months. Very immature. Yeah, well, you know what? That's a guy that's, very young, very dumb. It's a dumb, luckily, he's very lucky that the Padres didn't go and voided that contract because they had every right to do so. But you know what? Hopefully, let's just hope because everybody, this sport is a dying breed and they need superstars to help this league. And they need to market their superstars. You can't have big news like stupidity of this player in Tatis doing something so stupid and reckless. It was in his contract. He wasn't allowed to do that. If the Padres could have been an ass and said, we're voiding your contract, they were within every right to do so. So not only Tatis got lucky, but Major League Baseball, they got to be careful with this because they're already losing fans with the lockout. The casual fan is going by the wayside. A lot of the older fans that have been around a long time, they call it the dying breed. What's going to happen when all the elderly men and women who are big baseball fans who was way back when that started this, got me involved and you involved, grandpas, fathers, mothers, aunts, all types of people that, are up there in age, what's going to happen to the fan base? It's up to us, the somewhat younger fan base, so to speak, because the average baseball fan is around 49. They did that stat a couple of weeks ago. So it's up to us as fans to draw more people in as well, not just Major League Baseball. It's not all their, all their fault that it's all about the sport trying to market the sport. It's up to the fans. If you got a new girlfriend, a new wife, a new friend, Take him to a game. Explain to him, they're going to tell you it's boring. When I first met my girlfriend, I tell you right now, she could care less about baseball. She couldn't tell you anything. She couldn't even tell you what first base was. But you know what? She was like, oh, I don't like it. It's boring. I took her to a game, and a year and a half later, she was doing scorecards. So I tell you right now, guys, get people who don't like the sport, and if you're close to them as friends, girlfriends, husbands, whatever, go out there, bring them to a game. They will love it. Don't let them sit in front of a TV. It's very hard for a casual fan or somebody who doesn't care about it to watch on TV because it's a lot boring on TV if you're not a real fan. Go into the game, the smell of the grass, the atmosphere, it's so different. So take people to the game. Suzuki with the Cubs, that's another thing. The Cubs are actually interested in him, Suzuki, as well. Rizzo to the Cardinals, I don't see, honestly, Michael. I don't see that. I don't see him going to the Brewers or the Cardinals. He's not going to go to a rival like that. I hardly doubt that. Weird game in. Jeff Kent thinks Tatis should be able to do what he wants. Yeah, of course Jeff Kent's going to say that. But you know what? These teams have huge investment in players. I'm sorry. If it's in your contract, you sign a contract. You don't have to sign that contract if you're a player. If you see something you don't like in there, you don't have to sign it. His agent went through that whole contract. Tatis did not have to sign it. Nobody put a gun to his head. He signed it. He know the prohibited things in his contract. If he didn't like them, don't sign it. But guess what? You know what the one thing he saw? Those dollar signs in those years. That's why he signed it. So I don't care what Jeff Kent says. Jeff Kent's an ass. He's always been an ass. That's why he's not in the Hall of Fame, because the reporters couldn't stand him. Not saying he was one of the best second basemen of all time, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. But that's a big reason why he's not in the Hall of Fame, because of these reporters who Jeff Kent treated like crap, and he's not the nicest guy in the world either. So I don't want to hear any rumors about Jeff Kent thinking that Tatis should do anything he wants, because guess what? You can't. It's in your contract. Nobody's putting a gun to your head to sign a contract. If you didn't like what you see, don't sign it. But the only thing Tatis saw was big dollar signs in many years. That's all he cared about. He's just lucky that the Padres are not trying to get him mad. That's what it is. Caden, what do you think the New York the Carlos Correa is going? I was thinking the Cubs, but I think he's going to go back to the Astros now. George, Suzuki to the Angels, that's a possibility. I think he's going to go to the West Coast. So anybody on the West Coast, I think has a chance of actually signing Suzuki. By the way, George, I love the art on that profile pic. Let's see. Noah, Schwarber and Story to the Cardinals would be perfect for the team. Will make him a top contender. I agree with that. I already think you're going to win the division with probably not much of an issue. The Brewers are going to give you some problems, but I think the Cardinals are the best team in the Central. But that would just put you over the top for sure. Aiden, I see the Jays getting Schwarber instead of Freeman just makes more sense. Yeah, it does. It's going to be cheaper, but I think the Jays are going to get one of them. Depending on what they want. I think they're trying for both, and they're going to land one. I don't think they care which one, honestly. I really don't think so. Okay. There you go. Once again, guys, we got 233 of you awesome fans in the stream right now. So if you haven't hit on that like button, guys, you guys know what to do. Hit on that like button. You're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a member of the channel, guys, look it up. There's a couple of different memberships you can choose from. Yes, this is a Mets channel, but it's basically focused on baseball in general as of right now. Yes, there will be a lot more Met content when the season starts. obviously. But again, you also have opportunities to win free giveaways, even if you're not a Mets fan as well, and also ticket giveaways during the season. So when you're a member, you get all those perks, you get all that awesome stuff that you can get. So if you want to become a member, just click on that $ or that join button, and you can look at the perks that you will be receiving if you become a member. Well, Victor, I try to do that. I try to get everybody involved. I don't like, like just passing people by in that situation. I don't think it's fair. I mean, you guys are taking the time to watch or listen to me. Why can't I take the time to just talk to you guys or ask you questions? Don't get me wrong. I do miss some of them. I'm not going to lie about that. Every time I've been telling you guys over the last couple of streams, as soon as I go start moving the mouse and looking at the comments, as soon as somebody types, it flickers right back to the bottom. So, and I have to find my way back. So I might not find my way back every time. And I do apologize to that, but I do try to get everybody's comments in as much as possible and answer your questions. Well, yeah, Ed, I agree with that. You have the freedom to do everything, but he also had the freedom to not sign the contract. He could have said, no, I'm not signing this. I want to do what I want. But he did, because all he looked at was the $. That's it. I agree with that. You should be able to do what you want. But you're also in a country now that wants you to be vaccinated as well, which is also, I don't think you should lose a job or not being able to work because you're not vaccinated. So again, he signed the contract. Nobody put a gun to his head, Ed. Well, yeah, Christian, they haven't done that. They gave a decent, a younger player than Freeman an 8-year deal because at the end of it, he's going to be around 35. So, they make those long-term deals knowing that when that contract ends, they're probably going to get the majority of that contract very good years from that player. I agree. I think if the Padres, look, Tatis is a big part of that organization. Merchandise, ticket sales, everything. He's basically he's the face of the franchise. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't be surprised if they would have avoided that contract to save money. But because it's Tatis, they didn't do it. Colin, no updates on Freddie Freeman as of yet, but we are just waiting. Just waiting. All right. Let's go through Twitter again, guys. 2 hours into the stream and we still haven't got any actual news as of yet. Anything, like really, really important to tell you guys, because there hasn't been nothing. Let's see. But maybe we'll get lucky. Yeah, it's looking like nothing again, guys. So it's crazy. All right, so it looks like nothing. We're back at the comments again. Well, yeah, Chad, they started to make all those moves a couple of years ago with them young guys coming up and, making trades, making signings. And, sooner or later, guys are going to opt out. The Padres are not going to re-sign guys. It's going to be crazy for them. They had opportunities. They seem like they spent enough money, made enough trades to get what they want. But you know what? Sometimes it doesn't work out. And I think this is the last year for you Padres to really figure everything out. I think if you have a really good season, you make the playoffs, you have a decent run. I'm not saying win the World Series, but if it's decent enough and you get deep into the playoffs, ownership will probably put a little tweaks here and there to help out the team. Maybe, whoever opts out with Manny Machado, maybe they'll just re-sign him, restructure his deal and stuff like that. But if they have a bad year, I could see a lot of the ownership of the Padres just, not really break it up, but make changes. No, not a lot of Cardinals news as of late. Haven't really heard much at all, honestly. Legendary Watermelon, what's up, buddy? No, I don't know why it's so quiet today. At least every day we had a little bit of news. Someday, like a few days, like yesterday, it was mostly in the morning. and I think it was like one big move at night. The other day it was at night, not in the morning. So it's kind of like I even tried to start the stream a little bit later today, thinking there would be, more moves. I started at like the last couple of days. I started at 1 or 2. Right after, as soon as I got off my live stream, things happened. So I don't know what the hell's going on anymore. It's been very quiet today, and it sucks. Pure Platinum. Yes, I do think he's going to go back to the Astros at this point. I think when you're familiar with somebody, you're comfortable. Why not? If they're going to offer you a close enough deal to what you're looking for, why not stay where somewhere you're comfortable? And I think he will be back there now. The teams that are looking to get Freddie Freeman are the Jays, almost the whole AL East. The Yankees, the Jays, the Red Sox, and did I miss somebody? The Jays, right? The Rays, the Jays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. The Padres and the Dodgers. So 6 teams. And maybe a mystery team or 2, probably. Joe, who do you think the best rotation in baseball is? I really like the Blue Jays rotation. I would say if I had to put it in order, I have to put I'll go the top 3. I think it's the Jays. You know what? The Jays, the Brewers, and the Mets. I think in that order. Yeah. I mean, this is if everybody's healthy and they're all intact. The Brewers had a great rotation last year. They just couldn't hit, or their bullpen wasn't great. Besides Hader. So yeah, I would say the Jays, the Brewers, and the Mets. Roberto Ozuna is not a free agent. He's with the Braves. Andrew, what's up, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. The Dodgers don't have really a great rotation at all, honestly. And the Mets do have a very deep rotation. They just got Chris Bassett, who would be a number 2 on the Dodgers right now, honestly. Now this is if everybody's healthy, obviously, Freddie. You got DeGrom and Scherzer. Besides Bueller, who do the Dodgers have? I mean, they don't have a lot. I don't think the Dodgers have a great rotation at all. They just mash their way to wins. Baseball bullpen, yes, he is still a free agent. There still hasn't been a lot of news on him either, but he's not going to sign. Trevor Story's not going to sign until Correa signs, guys. So until it's like a domino effect. Once the big guy signs, the biggest guy, it slowly goes down from the lesser player all the way down. Like Rizzo's not going to sign until Freeman signs. It's just that's usually what happens. Yeah, I mean, Bassett could be an ace on some pitching staffs. Like, there's no joke. Like, Bassett's that good. Look at his record. Look at his stats last year and the last couple of years. He's really good. Bassett can easily be an ace on like 20 teams in the league. And DeGrom and Scherzer will obviously be an ace on any team. Steven says John Heyman reported trade between the Pirates and the Rockies. All right, let's check it out. See what we got, guys. Let's see. All right. I haven't seen John Heyman tweet in the last 2 hours. Just he put about Mike Montgomery to the Mets. Talked a little bit about the Red Sox on in the sweepstakes for Freddie Freeman. Baseball bullpen. At the moment, it's Luke Voigt. They're probably the favorite to land Rizzo, but that's not even a guarantee. At the moment, it's Luke Voigt. Well, you know what, Soler, like I'm surprised the Braves haven't been looking after him again. The World Series MVP. That would be a nice solid move for the Dodgers, though. Ron Vientos can play third, but I don't see where he's going to play at the moment. He'll probably make the roster. He'll probably sit on the bench making spot starts here and there, pinch hitting with the power bat he has. Because Escobar's your third baseman at the moment. Yeah, okay, but not really. Like, again, you're basing it off of what? Injuries? I'm not. Walker and Carrasco healthy are better than most 4 and 5 guys in most rotations. Again, I give the nod to the Jays and the Brewers for sure, but the Mets got a very solid rotation. They got guys that are going to be in the minors. In Peterson and McGill, that would be number 4 and 5s in most rotations in the league. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know what fan you are of a team, but the Mets are very deep in the rotation. Steven, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate the support. Yeah, that's obvious because guys get injured and stuff like that. But the Mets have 8 pitchers. They got McGill, they got Peterson, they got Montgomery, they got McGill, they got Yamamoto, they got Trevor Williams, they got 6 pitchers, not including anybody in that rotation. So in total, they got 11 pitchers, starters. So they're very deep. The Mets do have it. You're not paying attention, Freddie. You're not looking. Look at the roster. They got 6 guys that are depth pieces. They got McGill, Peterson, Trevor Williams, Yamamoto, Mike Montgomery. I mean, that's 5 pitches. If I'm missing somebody, I forgot. But there's 5 at least in depth. So they got at least 10 pitchers, starters that can start. That's a lot of depth. Can you name me 7 or 8 on the Yankees? No. I know injuries happen, but I'm not talking about injuries. You're making it seem like everybody's going to get injured now. You could say that about any team. You got to go based on health. Every team's going to need depth. The Mets have 10 pitchers that can step into 5 pitchers that can step into the rotation if anybody goes down. Not saying they're better than anybody in the 5-man rotation, but they can step in. The Mets last year didn't have depth. That was the big problem last year. They didn't have no depth. They made sure they got depth. Sean, I hope they get Chafin by the end of the day. That'd be real nice. That would be a nice, solid bullpen. But you could say, Freddie, you could say that about anybody. If Garrett Cole goes down for the Yankees, they're done. If Walker Buehler goes down for the Dodgers, they're done. You could say that about anybody. If Max Fried goes down for the Braves, they're in trouble. If Wheeler goes down for the Phillies, they're in trouble. You can say that about any team. I mean, you're a Mets hater. That's what it is. That's okay. But, you're not speaking truth here, buddy. You're not. But I said the Braves pitching staff is not as deep. They got 3 really good starters. That's it. I mean, I just said that the Braves are better than the Mets at this moment. I don't know what you're clamoring about. But it doesn't matter if they're young. Okay, Soroka's been young, but he's been injured the last 2 years. So what is that telling you? Soroka is your number 2. He hasn't pitched in 2 years. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Mike Bryant to the Phillies is very possible. They just have to beat out the Rockies on an offer. Colin McHugh is also an option too. He's still out there. The Mets were rumored to get him about 4 days ago. Nothing yet. Steven, I do like Starlin Marte. Again, I know he's up there in age, but he had a great year last year, He's not a power guy. He's an average guy who steals bases, and he's a really good center fielder. He's not great, but I'll take what we have now with Marte than throwing Nimmo out there in center field, who's, I know he played better in center field last year, but he's a better corner outfielder. Marte is going to be the perfect leadoff hitter this Mets team needed. So I like Marte. Jacob, I'm not sure where Story's going yet. I mean, you're not going to hear a lot of rumors with Story until you actually see Correa go off the board. Michael, easily, I think the Blue Jays outperformed the Mets when it came to deals. Let's see what else. Freddie, I agree with you on that. I think whoever gets Freeman, depending on, it seems like it's going to be, I think it's going to be the Blue Jays or the Dodgers, probably the best shot. I mean, obviously, that's just going to put that team way above everybody else, in my opinion. And look, if the Jays get them, you could probably cancel the AL East because nobody's beating them in that division. Well, obviously, if Correa goes back to the Astros, the Astros still got a solid, really good team. They find a way to get deep into the playoffs almost every year. So, and they got Verlander back. I mean, granted, let's see how he comes back after the Tommy John, but he should be good. Let's see. Jason, I don't know why you're killing JD Davis when he was hurt last year. Did you look at his stats? Type in JD Davis 2019. Look at his stats. I mean, you can pick any player from any team and say that they're terrible. That means that the team's not going to win the division. I mean, the Braves and the Mets can shut down lineups with no problem. It's going to come down to who's going to score the most runs against those two against each other. Is basically how it's going to happen. That's probably what's going to determine the division. Pitching does win games. That's always happens. Jason, I agree. I don't think they got a great offense. I've been clamoring for another big bat because the only power in that lineup is Pete Alonso. Technically, you could say Escobar somewhat, but other than that, they don't have a lot of power in that lineup. But they do have a lot of guys that put bat on ball. And the bigger problem last year with the Mets was they never put the bat on the ball. We left tons of people on base and tons of people in scoring position the entire year. And that was the big problem. The Mets, for the most part, got guys who put the bat on the ball. I mean, I can tell you how I can probably count at least 12 games where they had guys on third base with less than 2 outs and could not get the runner in on a sac fly. Marte, Escobar, they put the bat on the ball. That's such a huge deal in today's game when everybody strikes out 100 freaking times. It's ridiculous. But I'm not going to stand here and saying the Mets have a better offense than Atlanta because I'd be lying to you. But that doesn't determine they're just going to win. It doesn't matter. It depends on the game situation. The Braves might have a bad bullpen arm out there and the Mets score runs. The same thing with the vice versa. The Braves might, the Mets might bring in a reliever that's terrible at that night and the Braves score runs. It goes on the fact that game by game, you'll see if the Mets are good or the Braves are good. There's no doubt about that. They're the best two teams in the division, and they're going to fight it out through the entire year. But you can't come on and say the Mets haven't got better than last year, because they did. They improved the pitching staff tremendously. And granted, anybody can get hurt on the team. Everybody's talking about, you guys are talking about the rotation for the Braves. Soroka hasn't pitched in 2 years. Fried has been the only one that's been mostly healthy. You got Morton, who's another year older. Matzik, I like. But there's no guarantee. If you lose Soroka, you're in trouble. That's you can say that about any team that loses a big pitcher. Todd, I think Lindor will be a number 3. The number 3 here. I think that's a good spot for him. Not great, but again, he's gonna bounce. I have a pretty good feeling he's gonna bounce back from last year. I think he was a starstruck, honestly. So it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, he is not going to perform as a $340 million player. No way. I'd be lying to you if I thought that. Is he going to have a better year than last year? I think so. What does that mean? Who knows? But I think he's going to be better. I just think he just, got into the spotlight real quick and he just couldn't handle it at that moment. I mean, he might not handle it at all. We don't know. But I think he's going to have a bounce back year. Have you looked at their stats, Jason? Come on. You're not really being fair in this situation. You're not. How does Marte not make the Mets better? The Mets had nobody as a 300 hitter. Marte is a 300 hitter. Escobar is a quality 260, 270 hitter who can hit 20 bombs and is better than what they had at third base all year. Kana is not great. I'll give you that. He's not a power guy. He can bat 260. He's a solid defender, not great, but he's better than Dominic Smith. So how are they not better? But Marte's been healthy the last couple of years. Look at his stats. They all played over 130 games. Hey, Mohammed, how you doing? Guys, I mean, if you're going to throw information, if you're going to throw your opinion out there, come back with the facts. You got to look at the stats. Escobar was very good for the Brewers. Very good. Marte was excellent with the A's, excellent with the Marlins. You're not looking at the speed, 30 plus stolen bases, 40 plus stolen bases for Marte, a very good center fielder, a very good hitter. I mean, the Mets didn't have a 300 hitter last year. Now they do. And Victor, I do agree. We do need a left-handed pitcher in that bullpen. Beatty's going to be 10 times better than Volpe ever. Beatty's going to be good. Beatty's going to be good. I mean, you're a Mets hater. That's okay, but you're spilling non-facts without any proof of anything. You're just throwing your comments out there without any proof, and everybody in the comments are telling you that, including myself. A PNJ, thank you so much, buddy. Mothman, nothing on the Mets. Marcus, how you doing, buddy? DW Sports. I'm not sure. It was an odd sign-in when you signed in Baez. I thought it was a good sign-in for you guys. But I would think they would need another bat, but you need pitching, you need ball, you need a lot of help. I don't think the Tigers are there yet. I think it's going to take another year, get a couple more of your prospects up. I think you're going to be okay. But right now, I don't think they're going to make another big move. No, Jason, I think you're undervaluing Escobar and Kana. I think you really are. Jersey 9, I know a lot of people are pissed off at Cashman. Todd, that's a possibility. I still don't think they're going to get Hader. I mean, to me, it's like a pipe dream. Honestly, I would love that, but if they get Chafin, I'd be okay. But I mean, yeah, you're probably right. If Chafin the Mets haven't gone after him yet, they could be trying to get him. Well, according to Mike Mayer of one of the reporters, he said that a couple of the unvaccinated Mets that were known to be unvaccinated are now vaccinated. So there's a couple of less Mets that are not vaccinated. So we'll see where that goes because there are some Yankees and Mets that are not vaccinated. So we'll see what happens here. Pyro, I wouldn't know. I mean, you would probably have to give up maybe a Mauricio. I don't think they have to go that far, but I mean, you're gonna have to give up probably a prospect and a guy on your roster. You know, the Brewers will probably want Jeff McNeil. It's gonna be a lot. I mean, Hit is one of the best pitchers, best bullpen arms in the game. Bongo wants Story to Minnesota. Well, the Minnesota's making moves, so you never know. Let's see. Jason, are you a Yankee fan? I'm curious because if the Yankees would have signed Scherzer, the Yankee fans would have been kissing Cashman's feet. So, I mean, how is that not a great signing? You know, you don't need an all-star at every position to win. You don't need an all-star at every position. You need solid players. The Mets got a lot of solid players. You know, you have this fascination with hating the Mets, and that's the problem. You know, that's okay, but you still have to be fair when situations come out. Like you can't just say Marte is terrible, Escobar is terrible, and Kana's. Those three guys are upgrades on what the Mets had last year. Hit Fortnite. I don't think they're gonna make any more trades when it comes to a pitcher. The only thing I could possibly see is Hader, but I still think that's a pipe dream, honestly. I don't think if they do, maybe they are trying. I don't know. We haven't heard a lot of rumors about that, except for earlier in the week. Or earlier last week. I don't think the Mets are going to get Hader. I think they're going to try to get Chafin, and I think that's where they're going to go. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, okay. They couldn't beat Pittsburgh last year. You can go back to any game with any team and says, why couldn't that team beat that team? I mean, the Yankees couldn't beat the Orioles last year. That was a big reason why they couldn't win the division. You saying the Yankees were a bad team? They weren't. They just weren't as good as everybody expected them to be. And guess what? We didn't have Jacob deGrom the rest of that year when we faced Pittsburgh. So, again, the Mets weren't a good team last year. It was a pipe dream that they were in first place for so long. They weren't a good team last year. They had too many holes. J.D. Davis got hurt. Conforto was out a month. McNeil was out a month. Nimmo got hurt for a little while. We were basically injured for the most of the time, but they still weren't very good. So it is what it is. Again, the Mets are the second best team in the NL East, and I haven't said the Mets are better than the Braves. But when you don't give credit because you're a Mets hater, well, you're not going to get no respect. You're not. You know, everything you say is everything Mets are bad, Mets are bad, Mets are bad. No good at all. But yet you're talking about injuries that can happen to anybody. If Soroka is out of that rotation because of injury, now their rotation is hurt, right? Max Fried goes out with injury. Oh, now they're in trouble. I mean, you know, you're clamoring like I have my Mets shade glasses on, but I don't. When I'm telling you the Braves are better than the Mets. But that doesn't mean anything. The Jays are better than the Yankees on paper. But the Yankees could be a better team when they play the games. You just don't know. You know, if anybody bet the Giants last year to win 100 games, you'd be rich right now. But nobody thought so. So, and you just don't know. Brand new season, brand new year. Sean, I see a Mariners comment. Let me comment on that. You think the Mariners are done for grabbing players because the GM said they're done for offensive players? Well, yeah, that Winker deal was, and Suarez deal was absolutely amazing. That's going to help you. You got your third baseman. You know, if Suarez can figure out the hit for average, at least 240. You got a guy that's a power bat. Winker's an all-star. He's one of the better outfielders in the game. He can hit for power for sure. You're probably going to look at probably more pitching. There's not a lot of starting pitching out there anymore, but maybe a trade here or there. Maybe they're looking to Castillo. They need some bullpen help. But the Mariners, you know what? They're getting closer and closer. You know, they almost made the wild card last year. You got my prospect in Kalenic. You're welcome. But I think the Mariners are going to make a run for it in the West for sure. 0908. I don't know if the Brewers are going to do anything, honestly. They're doing little moves here and there. Yeah. I agree, Yippee, with the whole Mets bullpen. You know, they got guys that, for the most part, besides Diaz, I can trust. But they need a lefty in that bullpen. They absolutely do. And, you know, that would make the bullpen a lot more better to look at, honestly. But, you know, Chafin's holding out because, you know, he's basically one of the best bullpen arms left, on the market. So he's looking for money, obviously. You know, he's probably looking for around $9-10 million. You know, he was one of the better pitchers in bullpen arms in a game last year. So we'll see. Let's see if there's anything else going on, guys. Let's see. It's really been a slow day, guys. News wise, with the rumors all over the place, but we'll see. Some football stuff. Yeah, once again, guys, it's just quiet again. It's crazy. Just very quiet again, guys. Oh, Jason, yeah, that's what I've been clamoring for. Absolutely. I want a big bat. I think the Mets are one big bat away, and that Chafin in that bullpen. Now we're talking a lot better than what I'm saying now. You know, I'm not extremely happy with the lineup, but the lineup is better. I'm not saying they're going to be bashing home runs all over the place and scoring 6 runs a game, but they need another bat. This is why I'm clamoring for Chris Bryant or Castellanos, or somehow get Correa on a 1-year deal, something like that, a big bat that they need. And I've been saying, we've all Met fans been saying that. You know, nobody's going to sit here and be a fool and as a Met fan and say, hey, this lineup's fine. We can go right into the season. I'm not going to be mad about the lineup, but clearly they need another bat. Alonso's that only power hitter that you're really looking at in this lineup. Granted, that's not an end-all be-all, but it'd be nice to have another bopper in that lineup. And clearly, Chafin is the guy for the Mets to get. All right, we got some Mets Hot Stove right now. So once again, guys, I will be with you until 7 o'clock tonight. I was hoping by starting the stream a little earlier, a little later, that we would actually get more news. But of course, Major League Baseball just wants to be quiet all day. But that's okay. What can we do, right? All we can do is talk about it. I agree. I don't think Cano should be on this team, but he is. I'd rather see J.D. Davis and Dominic Smith than Robinson Cano at DH. Yeah, that was a decent move for the Brewers. McCutchen is up there in age, but he's still got a quick bat. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. Because he was hurt with the Phillies for the most part. He's a decent outfielder, but he ain't as fast as he used to be. But now he's a corner outfielder, so that's a decent signing for the Brew Crew. Billy Scott, that would be interesting. I'm assuming you're talking about Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman's not signing with the Yankees. No, it's not gonna happen. They would have if the Yankees were really involved enough to be serious about getting Freeman. I would agree, but they're not spending money. Where are they? They're not spending no money. They're not going over the luxury tax. Oh yeah, well I'm not surprised that the Jays put some numbers out there for Freeman. I mean, I would hope they put an offer by now, but we'll see. Yeah, I agree with that, but the Dodgers finally won a World Series in a shortened year, which was not really a. I don't even count that as a championship, honestly. I mean, 60 games, and the Yankees haven't won since 2009. So, you know, we haven't experienced that as a Met fan. I know that, but it's not like these guys are throwing championships every 2 or 3 years. They haven't. They've been spending all this money, doing all these trades to get better, and they got 2 championships combined over the last 20 22 years, 24 years. So Bongo, Twins fans, they're confused on the offseason. Yeah, I'm a little confused. You get Sonny Gray, Trey Donaldson. You hear a possibility of signing Story now. Like, yeah, the Twins are in a weird spot. MB, what's up, buddy? Yeah, MB, I do think that's the problem. I don't think the Mets want to go crazy on Bryant. He has his numbers have gotten a little lower over the last couple of years, and I don't know if they want to go 6 years with Bryant, and it might take him 6 years to get him. So yeah, unfortunately. Oh yeah, Jason. You know what? I think they're keeping a little bit of flexibility for the deadline. I mean, if they need a pitcher, they'll go get out on the pitcher. That's one thing I'm not worried about with this Mets team anymore. That's why when everybody's like, we got to get this guy, we got to get this guy, you don't need everybody in the offseason. Not every team does it. And you know what? If you need a guy, and we see now that Cohen's willing to do anything. If the deadline comes around and where the bullpen's struggling, you'll get a bullpen on. If the lineup's struggling, you get a bat. If there's a serious injury in the rotation, you look to get a starting pitcher that's out there that's on the trade block. And I'm comfortable saying that I feel very confident that the Mets will make a move if they need it during the trade deadline. Roberto, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. There hasn't been much information about that except for last week when you heard it a little bit, but nothing lately. Dingers. Brewers are a solid contender this year. I agree with that pitching staff. I worry about your lineup a little bit. With Kane and Yelich, they have a hard time staying healthy. But if you guys can stay healthy, you got a great pitching staff, which helped you through the entire year. But the offense kind of hurt you last year, and the Brewers got a great. If they can actually stay healthy in the lineup, the Brewers can contend for that Central with the Cardinals. Leslie said the Braves will win the World Series again. Well, you got a great team. You're very solid. Gab's cat. Freeman to the really think Tampa will get Freeman? Oh, you know what? They're in it. I don't know how far they're willing to go, but they're in it. Yeah, I don't think Coleman cares about the tax. Honestly, I don't think he does. He said it. Just because the Mets ain't making more moves, that doesn't not every time, when Epler calls up a player and they're just gonna sign him. They could be talking to Chafin right now, but there might be another team offering more. But everybody does have a limit. Jonathan B, I do agree with that. But at the same time, I think the Blue Jays would be happy with either one of them. That's why they're after both of them, because they get one of them, they're going to be fine either way. But yeah, I think Schwarber's a more logical and cheaper thing for you. So we'll see. All right, guys. So Colin McHugh, a couple of Met fans were talking about Colin McHugh to the Mets. The Braves got a little bit better. They just signed Colin McHugh, so that's a nice bullpen piece for the Braves. So the Braves are just getting better right now. So that was a piece that I thought the Mets would look at. And now Colin McHugh is a Brave. So that's a nice, solid sign-in for the Braves bullpen. Sam says silence before the storm. I 100% agree, Sam. No, I think it's going to cost a lot to get Castillo, Dave. Unfortunately, for any team that tries to get him. There you go, the blind beard. But $50 on the Mets to win the World Series. Well, that's a night. What are they? What were they like? Plus, I don't know. They were like third best odds, depending on where you looked on what sports book, to win the World Series. Hey, listen, you get a decent amount of money if they do. Don't hold your breath, but you never know. O'Rourke, I think it slowed us down a little bit, but I honestly don't think, I think the Mets' concern at the moment is more of the draft pick going down 10 spots than the actual tax that they will incur if they go over that amount. So I still think they're gonna make a move or two, not big ones, but probably a bullpen piece, or maybe two bullpen pieces. I mean, it might have slowed us down a little bit because I think they're a little concerned. I mean, I think it's a stupid penalty that you're gonna drop 10 spots if you go over that, but it's a rule now, so teams are gonna be a little bit more focused on that a little bit. But how many teams are really gonna go over 290? The Dodgers. So we'll see. The offseason is not over yet. Sean, yeah, they're definitely a contender. I think you need a little bit more help in the rotation and the bullpen, but your lineup is looking pretty good. Looking really good. All right, so Colin McHugh got a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Braves and a club option for year 3 at $6 million. So there was no way the Mets were going to do that. The Mets were basically signing relievers for under $10 million, under $8 million for that matter. So, yeah, I mean that was, the Braves are going for it, right? Again, Colin McHugh was one on the Mets radar as well, and they swooped him off and got him. So that was a nice move by the Braves. Yeah, Jason, I don't think he's backing down, but I do think that tax did hurt him. Not the money tax, not the monetary penalty. I think as an organization, you have to look at that draft pick going down 10 spots. I mean, that's a huge deal for any team. I think they're if it was only a monetary penalty, I don't think Cohen would care at all. But you got to be smart about it when it comes to your draft picks as well. That's how you build up your farm system. I'm not saying the Mets are going to need, 3 or 4, 5 players that we're waiting for, but you always want to build up your farm system. Not only hope for these guys to develop, but also if a trade possibility comes up and you need prospects, you have them. No, it's not a Connor jersey. It's a the Mets want jersey here. It's a Lindor jersey that I bought last year. That's the Scherzer shirt and a Marte shirt right there. And yes, Dave, Jeff. That's why they got a comment from Jeff Kent earlier today. Yeah, he did hurt himself also with a motorcycle. Dave, in my current lineup, let's see. Let me try to put it together really quickly. Let me just type it up so I can just remember what I was thinking not too long ago. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me 1 second, guys. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to write it up so I can just have everything on my mind so I don't miss the the lineup in my head when I'm talking about it. 2, 3, 6. Let's see. Who else? I'm trying to think, guys. Just give me a second. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so here I got the lineup up that I put together now. So Marte, Nimmo, Lindor. All right, so Marte center field, Nimmo right field, Lindor shortstop, Alonso first base, Escobar third base, McNeil second base, JD Davis as the DH, Kana in left field, and McCann the catcher. So Marte, Nimmo, Lindor, Alonso, Escobar, McNeil, Davis, Kana, and McCann. That's the lineup that I see. So Fish hobbyist, the Red Sox are close for Freddie Freeman. That's what Heyman said. All right, let's check on WFAN. I don't even have WFAN on right now. I did, but let's see. All right, if he said that, he has. If he said that on WFAN not too long ago, we'll see. So hold on. So Heyman reports on WFAN that Boston is close to Freeman deal, and now Buster Only says on ESPN on Michael K show Freeman is down to the Dodgers and Yankees. Who do I believe? Let's see. I'm gonna be waiting for tweets to see who's actually there. So we'll see. Elijah, I think the Yankees are not even they're not winning the division at this moment. The Blue Jays, I think, are the favorite. But when it comes to, I still believe they can be a wild card team. Look, I see anybody who makes the playoffs has a shot at the World Series. You just got to be hot at the right time. But you know what? The Yankees have to do a little bit more. They have to at least make it, make their team better. I mean, they still got holes. They still don't have, a real first baseman. Luke Voigt sucks at first base. He can hit, but he's also not healthy. I mean, Hicks is always healthy, but he's your center fielder at the moment. So they got a lot to. They still need a big bat, I think. Yeah, Steve, we talked about that earlier in the stream about that. The Yankees, the Mets, and the Players Union are all talking to Mayor Adams regarding that. What type of restrictions like they can possibly play because it's an outdoor stadium, which is a little different than indoor rules. But they might have to be some restrictions, like the players might have to wear a mask if you're unvaccinated while you're indoors in the stadium. But we'll see. Yeah, the Dodgers go in every year and they still only have one championship in a shortened year. So what does that really mean? Nothing. You don't buy championships. It's very rare that it happens. David, I think the Blue Jays are going to get one of the two. And I think the Blue Jays fans would be happy with either or. AJ Hint say the Tigers aren't done. Well, they shouldn't be. They have a lot more work to do. Dingers, Universal DH. What are my thoughts? Look, I'm a National League guy at heart, but it's becoming more and more obvious that more pitchers are getting hurt because they're running the bases, hitting. The pitchers don't even bat anymore in the minors, in college. In the minors, and like even sometimes in high school. Sometimes they get so specialized now that they don't hit. The last time they hit was in college, so they can go 4 or 5 years without even picking up a bat while they're in the minors. So, I came around on the universal DH just because, it seemed obvious. It's stupid to have two rules at this point. I'm not a big fan of it, but I understand it. All right, so a deal is close with who? Let's check. All right, let's see if we got any news. You got a couple of minutes before about 10 minutes before this. I'm gonna end the stream, guys, but let's see if we hear anything. I'm just waiting for news about the Freeman. A couple people are talking about us only on Michael K show, saying the Dodgers and the Yankees are the favorite, and then Heyman on WFAN said that the Red Sox are close to a deal. So they haven't tweeted that yet. So if they said it, they probably tweeted it by now. And then Fish said the Padres just upped the Freeman offer. We'll see. Freeman can play third. He's done it a little bit with the Braves, but I don't think you want to put him there. So we'll see. Michael says go Dodgers. Let's see. All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, thing is, I was talking about that. I think the Brewers have the second best rotation in all of baseball. I think the Blue Jays are number one at this point. The Brewers are very close second. Oh, for sure. The Cubs don't have a really good rotation. I mean, again, Stroman is good, but he's technically a number three. So yeah, the Cubs are in trouble if they don't get more arms in that rotation. I don't believe the first game is televised. It might be. Usually the home team usually carries the spring training games. Usually don't see the away game. But I know the Mets have 8 games are shown on SNY during spring. So yeah. Easton, I'm not going to put the Mets number one. We do have the same teams in the top three, but I'm going to go with the Jays, Brewers, and the Mets. Because I think the Jays have the deepest rotation. 1 through 5. The Brewers, I think, are just a little bit better than the Mets. Uh, Overall, and I do think the Mets are third. All right, I'm just refreshing Twitter, guys. Let's see. Yep, still nothing, guys. This is crazy. All day it's been really nothing. I'm just looking at your comments, guys. I'm just trying to go through them quick. I only got a couple more minutes here. Dingers, thank you so much, buddy. Yes, I've been doing streams almost every day, between 2 and 4, until like 7. Sometimes I do 8 o'clock at night. So yeah, just keep on popping on. I'm gonna do the streams for a couple more days. With these live streams for the MLB until everybody signs and ready to go. We're gonna keep on doing live streams. So Dingers, thank you so much for subbing, baby. Let's see. All right. Yeah, the Mets do have a lot of Oakland A's for sure. Yeah, I just sort of information about the White Sox looking into Sean Manaea and Frankie Montas. That would be a little bolster to that rotation for sure for the White Sox. They're already the favorites to win the Central. It's all about making the playoffs and doing what they can do in the playoffs. Omar, I think the rotation in the Padres rotation is definitely top 5, but they also have to remain healthy as well, just like every other rotation. Yeah, yes, you do get a badge if you're a member. Yes, you do, JD. You do, and they change colors based on how long you've been a member. So, yeah, I know people like the badges, but yes, you do. Freeman to Tampa Bay. That would be so crazy. That would be just so out of nowhere. I know the Rays have been rumored to be talking to Freeman, but out of all the teams that could probably give him more money, him going to Tampa would be insane. I wouldn't say. See, you know what? Losing Tatis is tough for the Padres. The rotation should be good if they're healthy. They still got a really good lineup, but losing Tatis in that lineup hurts. It really does. Hayden, what's up, buddy? So, guys, only a few minutes left before I end the stream. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream today, guys. Unfortunately, Major League Baseball decided not to give us much news at all. Hopefully, we get a lot of news tonight and make some fans happy and some pissed off that they lost out on the player they want. Let's hope there's some news because we're getting closer and closer to spring training games, and it would be nice to have rosters set so everybody has an idea of what the team's going to look like. So once again, guys, if you haven't hit on that like button, please do. I really do appreciate all you guys' support. Michael, a new member of Talkin Mets and Rob, really do appreciate. Michael Hawkins, thank you so much once again. If you're still on the stream, if you're not, you probably hear it if you replay. Also, guys, everybody who subbed to the channel tonight, guys, I really do appreciate it. Keep on coming back for more streams and check out the videos if you haven't yet. Once again, guys, I really appreciate it. Hopefully, good luck to everybody's team. Colin McHugh just signed with the Braves not too long ago on a 2-year deal with an option for a third. Mike Montgomery to the Mets as the depth rotation arm that's probably going to end up in the minor leagues on a $1 million deal. And that's basically it. So let's hope there's more moves so we actually have something to talk about in the next live stream. Once again, guys, have a great night. See you guys next time. Met fans, let's go Mets. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.